Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cha Cha Mystique, and you now tune into Live at Radio. This is the last episode of 2022, and we're going to do it big with no other than Blanchard, definitely in the building. Now, those that don't know, he is very straightforward in giving you the raw, whether it's with politics, what's going on in the news, media, as far as entertainment is concerned, and he does a great job with showing people where the swindle at, where the lies at, and he does it in such an entertaining manner that you can't help but to agree with what he's saying. So he's definitely in the building. We're going to get to our intros, our countdowns, and we'll be right back. Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So strikers, no strike me. Yes, strikers, no strike me with your hating ass. Now, without any further ado, we're going to welcome Blanchard, definitely in the building.
How you doing, Cha Cha?
I'm good. Am
That's
I
good.
saying your name right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so it's a lot to talk about. I kind of want to do the 2022 recap with you, and I feel like you're the most perfect person to do it with because I mean you've been on it. Every headline, every propaganda, whether it's politics or even with the entertainment business, just like this latest fiasco with Meg the Stallion, you up on it, showing the discrepancies in the stories,
Hmm.
and I really love the way you deliver that energy and deliver that message. And I think more people should be hip to it and not be so afraid and stuff. But before we get to all of that, I kind of want to get to know you a little bit better. So where you from and how did you start speaking the truth?
I'm originally from Sacramento, California. You know, Sacramento, and then but I live in Atlanta now, so I've been here for a little bit, and I basically came down here to go to grad school, but I ended up not going to grad school down here. Ended up going to grad school in Boston. Long story. Anyway, I used to work with children, young adults, all that stuff, And then I switched careers and got into television and film, you know. Became a video engineer. I did a little acting, camera person, all that kind of stuff. And then I think I started really speaking the truth back in, well, let me say this. Back in 2018, I did a video that went viral, and it was about the young man in New York that got killed by that gang, and he was like he ran into the store and they put him out. I think the boy's
Oh,
name was
Junior.
Junior. Yes, Junior. So I did a video about Junior, and it just went super viral. Like it went crazy, and then Instagram started shadow banning me after that.
Wait, but before you get into the political talk, because you say you was in film and all of this, explain this. Explain that. Because you had mixtapes, all of that. Because
I
you
u-
had
I
mixtapes and all of that. So, you was in film and stuff, but you was into music as well.
oh yeah, I
Because
was
you
into
had bars.
yeah, I was into music. Yeah. How you find that?
Wait, hold up. I'm gonna give you some more. Hold up, because I want to show the people what I mean. Hold on, let me share my screen. Hold up.
Oh man. Oh no.
My boy Young Dolph, man, Hollywood Boulevard. Everybody tough, man, till somebody acting hard. Bullets get to fire, man, and shooting and they dumping.
What?
Bulletproof behind the truck, but now somebody slumping.
What?
Hold my dog, make it, man, a hustle, shout him out. Kings go salute, man, you know what this about. We
Hey.
on the west coast, but we living down south. We toast to this good life and pour it in our mouth. I'm talking champagne, I'm a campaign with gorillas. Killing all these rappers, man, I know you got the feelers. Man, they crackers shooters in the streets like we dogs. Reverse that whole thing, man, and break every law. That means we take it over. It's revolution time. That means we taking over. It's revolution mine. I gotta get my hustle. I'm sticking to the grind. And when
Where did you find?
Yes.
Where did you find this?
It's revolution time, but you had it in you. You was rapping
Where,
about it.
Cha Cha? Where in the world did you
I
find?
googled you. I googled you. I googled you, and your
Listen, Cha Cha. I
mixtapes
love
came
you.
up. Your Facebook. I was like, let me check his Facebook, and you got mad at those videos like they was talking about Young Dolph. But even in those lyrics, you were real revolutionary. You know, you were saying this revolutionary time. You already knew what was up. You already had that mind frame. So, what sparked that? Was it your upbringing, your parents? You know, what was it about your upbringing or the world that made you want to talk about its injustices?
I think my family is very outspoken, and my mother was very outspoken. Like she was very, into it. She knew what was going on. And my mom told me one time, she told me something so profound. She was like, "There's only two free people in the world." And I was like, "Who?" She said, "The white man and the black woman." She said, "Everybody else is slaves." And now imagine my mom was telling me this when I was a child. Like this is nobody was talking like that, back then. But I just think I got it from my mother. My dad's like artistic as far as like he's an artist as far as like painting and building and stuff like that. But my mom was more the outspoken, you know, the person that would be the one to make sure everything was fair, to make sure everything was in line. Like she was like kind of the rock of the family, you know. My uncle's outspoken too, but he's like my grandfather, just spit, just talk. Listen, we talk a lot of mess, We loud, outspoken, so I get a combination from my mother and my father. But I think 2020 Cha Cha was the year that woke me up, really woke me up. This, what was going on, you know.
Yeah, so but before we get to 2020, before that you was about to tell the story about Junior. What was the, cuz I mean we see people get slayed all the time. You know, we see the gangbangers come in and they infiltrate on certain things. So what was it about that particular story that made you say this is it, I got to say something?
My issue with the Junior story was he ran to adults for help, and the adult men turned him out into the wolves. And I just, to me, I don't respect that. Like at the end of the day, if we don't protect the children, who will? Nobody will. So they turned the boy away, and they just the way they killed him. It was just like brutal, just basically like a butchering of this little boy, and he was innocent. He didn't even do it. Like I'm like he didn't even. It was just so sad, and it made me very upset. And like me, I worked with kids, ages probably like little kids to like 25 years old. I would never turn a child away that's in danger. I don't care who the person coming. Like I'm not gonna do that because I can't live with myself. So the way they did it, I don't know, man. I got a real problem with grown men being cowards, And that little boy lost his life because all them grown dudes had to do was either lock the door to the front. They could do anything. Pull the gun out from behind the. I don't know. I know it's New York, but somebody got a gun somewhere. Y'all could have did anything to protect that boy. Period. And I just felt like call the police. I don't know anything, but to throw him out to the wolves, no.
Yeah, and I can't even defend that or give my perspective. But what I would say about that situation is, especially like the grocery stores, you have a lot of thugs stand out in front of there, sometimes unwanted,
Yeah,
and I probably me just to give benefit of the doubt, maybe the store dude with the clerk was scared himself because he has to be there and
yeah,
occupy his job, knowing that these people most likely will come back to try to attack him if he try to intervene in some way. That's the only thing I would say about it. But I totally agree with you. But fast forward, because you said 2020 really woke you up. Now we know this Peter, like how you say Peter pandemic
yeah.
happened. What was it that made you feel like this was a whole bunch of shit?
I remember when it first happened. My spirit told me that this is not real, and they're gonna want you to put something in your body. This is what I was told. So I was telling people back then this is all about a snake bite, and nobody believed me. Everybody was like, "Nah, that's not gonna happen. No way." But I was talking about this back in 2020, and sure enough, I was like 6 months ahead of what they were doing. But I feel like I have divine revelation. But not only with that, I think it was just time for me to grow up, really, Cha Cha. And I think, once I started maturing as a man, everything started coming to me. I even told my girl at the time, I said, listen, I got to go on sabbatical. I got to go 45 days. I got to go on my little pilgrimage. I don't know what I was going to do, but I needed 45 days to myself. And she wasn't feeling it, but, you know, I just knew I had to change something because something was happening. I just knew something was going on. So I don't know. So I think 2020 really, to me, it was like, if you think about 2020, that's the year, that's the number of perfect vision, perfect eyesight. And I feel like 2020 was symbolic for that, where God was like, I'm going to let y'all see the truth. And those that wanted to see it saw it. Everybody saw it. It's just some folks tucked their tail and ran away. And listen, you mentioned those store owners. Listen, I get it. I mean, I get you don't want to get harassed by gang members. I mean, I get it. But at some point, we got to put our foot down, because what kind of life are we living if we constantly under somebody else's oppression? No, we listen. I want to be free. I'm sorry, because to me, it ain't life if I ain't free. I'm sorry. So that's just my mindset, though. But I get people being afraid. I get it. But 2020 for me, I saw the truth, and honestly, I wasn't afraid. It actually gave me relief. That I could actually see what was happening and going on, so I could prepare and tell others. So I actually didn't get afraid. I actually had hope, honestly.
Yeah, me too. That's something that I agree with you with. I had hope, but for me, it felt like nobody has an excuse to hide behind certain things no more, because everything that they doing, they putting it in front of your face. You know how long people will call me crazy because it wasn't so blatant. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It wasn't so blatant like how it was during this Peter pandemic. And now people that still co-sign the Peter pandemic is like, hold up, you now you not wanting to see. Now you making excuses, or you an op. Like you work for them. You're an agent. You gotta be, because ain't no way, everything that they put out in front of you is deniable. Like when people walk around with masks still, I'm like, but hold up, they just told you that the masks don't work. It wasn't me, it wasn't you, but they said that shit. Valensky, Michelle, whatever her name is, just like when they came out and was like they was putting everything as a COVID death. They told you that on their news media outlet, and you sitting here talking about what this person had. How do you know? If they tell you that the test is wrong, they tell you that they marking everything as a COVID death. They're telling you that the mad them. Not us, them. If they're on their news media outlets telling you this and flip flopping and what they want to say, then how are you going to look at us like we're crazy? We're listening to the same shit that you're listening to.
Right.
Right now, it's like you just don't want to know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. Like right now, it's what they call willful ignorance, where you just being ignorant on purpose. And again, since 2020, they've pretty much been putting everything in our face. They're not hiding anything. Like they're not making some kind of intricate plot. They're literally just putting this stuff out there, making it sloppy. We can see through it. Like even with the Meg and Tory case, like it's just like it's even the evidence. Like it's just so obvious and blatant to where they feel like now they don't have to hide nothing. So like now nobody can say they don't know because it's putting everything out in the open. Everybody, you can see it now.
Yeah. What was it about the Meg case that made you feel like it was a bunch of bullshit? Like, ain't no way.
When it first happened, the narrative was that he was mad at Meg because she didn't want to be with him, and I said to myself, that is these women's fantasy for a guy to be so crazy over them that he starts shooting. I said it's just that made. I'm like it's just. I said nobody is shooting Meg Thee Stallion because she don't want to be nobody, and then when she went live and started talking, I'm like, oh, this is a mess. And think about it. In a normal case, you would never speak that much. Like in a normal case, your lawyers would tell you to be quiet, don't say nothing, let it come out. She was talking way too much, painting a narrative, and the stuff she's saying wasn't making no sense. I'm like, this don't make any sense. Fast forward, we get to the case, and in the case, the prime witness, which is her friend who she was fighting, she gets on the stand and pleads the fifth. Not ask anybody with sense. Why would that girl plead the fifth? There's a reason why she would plead the fifth, because she knows if she gets on that stand and says something, she's going to be caught for perjury. So she has to just be quiet. I plead the fifth. And so I don't know what Tory did. Maybe he's a part of it. Maybe it's one big ritual. I don't know. Listen, I don't know.
That's crazy. There's some other people, who talk about things that we talk about, and they were saying that this was like a sacrifice type thing because he basically cracked the industry, dealing with the NFT thing. He was one of the first artists who was able to put his album, his body of work on an NFT, and not only be able to make money, but the people who were buying the NFTs were able to make money too. And he did a video stating that, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
got the code. You don't need no labels and all this other stuff. And he was under Rock Nation at that time when he made that video. Do you think that could be part of the situation on why they had to silence? This is their way of silencing him without truly killing him.
Yeah, Tory Lanez said he signed a distribution deal, and it was for 18 months for $18.7 million, something like that. That's unheard of. Like he owns his master. So you think about it, in this day and age, most artists have slave contracts. They're in 360 deals where they basically own you for life. And that wasn't Tory Lanez's case. So you got to think about, in the music industry, even entertainment, the leverage for them is to have complete control over you. If they can't control you, then they have to take away your means. Prime example, Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke was threatened by the mob. He said, I'm not, no. Sam Cooke wanted to get all the black artists together and then form a record label and then let every artist keep their masters. So, he was meeting with all these artists and doing this stuff, but the mob was like, no, and he ended up getting killed mysteriously by this lady that owned an apartment. But anyway, but again, these people are threats. Sam Cooke was one of the first people. Think about this now. It was Elvis Presley and it was Sam Cooke. That's how big he was. And Sam Cooke was probably the first artist to wear his hair natural. He was the first one to even start the whole natural wave where folks are, putting that conch in their hair. So again, if you can't control somebody, what do you do to them? You either kill them physically or you kill them as an entity. So, you think about like
You
Prince.
kill their character.
Yeah. So like Prince, what he did was he became the artist formerly known as Prince to get out that first contract. So if you notice, half of his career is he's the sign, the symbol. But guess what? The industry has a problem with that. Even Kanye with Ye. Kanye is under Kanye West, but he's an independent artist. So again, these artists figure out ways around the system, but guess what? The system's not designed for that. It's designed for you to be controlled completely. Excuse me.
That's a whole fact. They don't I mean, it's nasty work how they give it up. You know what I'm saying? It's so nasty work. One of the things that somebody recently said to me was you can't change the system because it's gonna end up changing you. Me, I always say, let's just throw this whole system away. Let them fucking have it. Like, too many times since we was talking about NFTs, and I know you talk about AI, but I kind of want to get to that a little later. But just for conversation's sake, a lot of people be like, well, let me get into it just to see. And then the next thing you know, they're on a whole marketing campaign promoting the devil's work, so to speak. And then it's not only are they getting sucked into the matrix, they bringing everybody, their family, their friends, people within their reach within that matrix as well. And it's like an infectious disease. That shit spreads everywhere. And then 5 to 10 years from now, we look around and be like, well, how the hell we got here? Because you participated. You went to, and I like when you say get the bag. You was more concerned about getting the bag at that time. Now look, everybody lost money off them NFTs. Them shits don't pop no more. All the cryptocurrency dudes got assassinated. Everybody's at an ultimate low. Niggas lost money and it's not coming back. People should have saw that with that Dogecoin fiasco.
Mm,
And I think they did that on purpose. And
possibly.
it's like, when would you get it? Now you're starting to see more people, especially people in the so-called woke community, really promoting artificial intelligence right now. How do you feel about that?
Most, the Bible says wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all that getting, get understanding. People always talk about wisdom, but they don't talk about understanding. And understanding puts everything into a perspective where we can all see the full picture. Most people have common sense, intelligence, knowledge, and all that stuff, but they don't have any understanding. If you got Elon Musk talking about a chip or device in your head, you got Klaus Schwab talking about a chip in your head, and you got these folks digitally scanning you to go to grocery stores and do all this stuff. It's not too hard to see where this stuff is going to lead. And what they're telling you is that if you want to be a part of this system, you have to be integrated into the system. And so the folks that are talking in these woke communities, they don't really have a full understanding because they feel like they're going to be able to come out on top in the situation. But you and I know everybody thinks that in the beginning. Everybody thinks I'm gonna be able to do this in the beginning, and then you end up
Yeah.
in a camp somewhere, you know.
Yeah, like with the whole cryptocurrency thing, one of the things that people was talking about all the time is, oh, it's decentralized. What? You can go in there and do da 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 da. Or some people would straddle the fence and be like, well, we're gonna get in and get out. We're gonna get in, make this money, and get out and do whatever. First of all, it's not you don't have nothing tangible. Dumb people could get up in there and switch some ones and zeros, and you asked out. You don't got, look what they did to Kanye. Look what they do to people who do speak out. Now, knowing the social credit system of China and how they're trying to get that in, and I think you was talking about that with Dag, what's his name? Fauci ass, right? His ass. I want to fight him. Like when I see him, I want to like give him two to the jaw. That's it. But not in a good way, for those who thinking crazy.
He from
But
your borough, right? Where you
huh?
from? Where you from? You from Brooklyn?
I'm from Harlem.
You from okay?
Yeah.
I like Harlem the best.
Thank you,
I do.
thank you.
I like
Yeah,
Harlem.
so you hear it all that you see Biden talking about we're gonna get you $600 in the thing, even though they lax that, but still I don't trust it. They could say that publicly, but still be monitoring people's accounts when it once it reach $599. Like all this stuff that's carrying around it, oh well, it's decentralized. First of all, they got 40 years up on you. Takasakamona, whatever the fuck his name is, I don't even think he exists. It was a collective, not just
Right.
one person.
Right.
That shit was existed 1983. And then now everybody's talking about that now within the past 5 years and think they got a pure handle on it. And just when niggas is comfortable and like, yes, we got something that we can maximize and come up off, now you have all these discrepancies and now these rules are coming out and now the government is doing all this. You didn't even get a good decade comfortable in the situation. So and what hurted me the most about it, it was your influences. That's why I don't know this whole, because I've been doing live at radio for 5 years, and the main point was to interview hip hop artists, both up and coming and legendary, and I did both things. But then seeing the reaction after, the Peter pandemic, seeing who was marketing this whole
Mm.
campaign, see who was promoting things, and even those who participated but want to sit here and be like, I'm so woke, or I am the teacher. Yes, I'm talking about KRS-One. Blanche don't got nothing to do with this. This is my perspective. But just seeing how shit
Hold
went.
on. What did KRS-One do? I know he wasn't down with it.
No, he wasn't down with it, but the reason why I say he participated is because, okay, Swiss Beats, he's already on my list about that whole shit too, because you could have had the verses anywhere. It started on IG. Everybody was on your side with that. It's black owned. It's artists that we trust, and you bringing the legends out. We rocking with you. We rocking with you, right? Now I can understand that you want to do growth, but you already have millions of people tuning into you, whether virtually or not. And I guarantee you, even if you wanted the host versus in a hole in the wall, people would have followed. But you holding verses in places like Madison Square Garden and other places that
Oh
is
yeah.
is mandating the fans to get vaccinated in order to even be in the building.
Right.
Now, even though KRS-One and a lot of other people, you know what I'm saying, are not vaccinated, and things like that, but you are still occupying space in a place that's doing that. And people are getting vaccinated and getting tested. And we know that test is faulty too. That shit probably got nanotechnology on it as well. So you may not be vaccinated, but you leading the people who are diehard fans down that yellow brick road. Now, if you're supposed to be the teacher and so responsible, that ain't no woke shit. I wouldn't want to occupy a space where I know that in order for my people to come in this space, they have to get that that thing up in them, or they have to get swabbed up, whether they hitting their nose or their blood vein. and
Right.
and and, and even if I'm not outright saying that shit, I'm still promoting that lifestyle. I'm still putting you in a position where you're conditioning yourself to wave that passport or get scanned or something like that, knowing that Swiss has enough pull, enough influence to do versus anywhere. And then he sold this shit, and now in a lawsuit. So that was my beef with a lot of people, even those who may not have taken the jab or whatever. You had the luxury to still be in that place without it. How many of millions, thousands of people that was sitting in Madison Square Garden or the Barclays Center be able to say the same thing?
Right. I mean, I agree with you 1,000%. And this is what I talk about when I say understanding. So you're looking at something from with a full picture. You're like, wait a minute, y'all are not promoting it, but you are promoting it because once you get on that stage, you know that people want to see you, and they'll probably do anything to see you on stage because it's like a once in a lifetime event. So in essence, you're doing worse than just taking it because you're getting thousands of people to take it.
Yeah,
So
and
I
not
agree.
just getting thousands of people take it. Just and I don't mean to cut you off, but let me just say this part, adding it in there. Even the people that may have stood home or whatever, they know that these big arenas, you need the jab to
Yeah.
get in there, right? Even though you're not the jab, but just them seeing you on their stage is a promotion. Just mere
Right.
seeing you there, you
Right.
advocating for that behavior, you
Right.
advocating for that conditioning, that programming, all of that. But you the teacher. That I don't know. It just was weird to me.
So Cha Cha, I would say I said this back in 2020. I said everybody is going to get exposed. You know, it used to take years for folks to get exposed. Now folks getting exposed in a month, maybe 2 months, but people get exposed fast. And like KRS-One, the ultimate test was, are you going to say no to the verses for the people? Because he could have said, let's have it in the park. You know, let's have it outside. Let's do it. Let's go old school. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't. He said, I'm going to comply with everything as far as, you know, doing it. And then everybody come in there got to get jabbed up and tested. So, again, though, a lot of these people I used to look up to, they all phony. And they're phony because when push comes to shove, this is a test of character right now. It's not back then. It's now when this thing has some teeth. You got to think, Cha-Cha, we actually saw the devil these past 2.5 years, almost 3 years. We saw the devil come out and say, we plan on doing this to humanity. By 2030, you're going to own nothing and be happy. We're going to put chips in you. We're going to put jabs in you. We're going to get your chip. Like, these people are openly saying this stuff. And I thought black folks was going to be like, bucket, like, fighting revolution. No. I was so heartbroken, you know, and it's sad because my whole life, I thought we was just like a lot different than we were. And I just saw that most of our people during this last almost 3 years, they folded. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Big Mama, the church, all of them, the artists, the athletes. I mean, it's sad, man. I'm like,
Even the gangsters. That's why all these gang members, and I don't care who feels some type of way. You're not tough to me. If you stay out here, you could rob or do all the fuck shit in your community, but you can't stand up when it was really time to. I don't believe you. I don't think you tough. I think you so soft, and actually, it's abomination to our community. I think we all should just boot you out. You shouldn't even call yourself black. I'm sorry. If you could sit here and look at somebody who look just like you, talk like you, dress like you, want the same things you want to get out of the predicament and situation, and you buck on that, but you can't buck on these people that sitting here with their trucks. Because everybody talking about turf wars. You get mad at a motherfucker to walk on your block, but you didn't say shit when them trucks was on your block giving out free vaccines. You ain't say nothing. You was probably lined up. So I'm sorry. I don't believe none of that. And that's what, you know, I felt disenchanted, you know, with it all. And on some real shit, when I do talk to artists, I want to talk about real things. I mean, of course I want you to promote your stuff, but it was almost like, for me, I don't care what your album is about. What are you talking about? I don't give a fuck about your album. Like, I don't care. What are you talking about? Like, are you talking about further killing the community? Because these people got that on lock. Like, you know, y'all about to disappear, which y'all are. A lot of people are. And the thing that kills me now
like
is why nobody's being honest about why everybody's dying. Why y'all not being honest? Because y'all had the stickers on y'all forehead. Y'all was lit. Oh, I got mines. Remember? Y'all was at the fucking parking lot where they was giving out them syringes. You was at the parking lot with the sticker on your forehead, happy. You changed your Facebook profile picture. You had the filters. It was lit. Now that everybody's dying suddenly, shout out to the documentary, suddenly, why y'all not being honest about that? Because I just lost somebody a week ago. I've been losing a lot of people lately, and I know all of them took it. Why y'all not why we can't talk about why all of a sudden you want to respect your privacy, but you wasn't private when y'all was doing all this shit.
Right.
It's crazy. Go ahead, Blanche. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you 100% correct, and it's sad because you would think folks would have got wiser and smarter. They didn't, though. It's almost like they got worse. Like, people like literally got worse. Like, people are losing their lives, and y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all ain't even gonna say that maybe it's this. Like, y'all ain't gonna say like. But listen, I feel like most people, when most people see the truth, they get scared, and they try to run and hide from it. Yeah, man. I remember everybody telling me I was crazy. People telling me you gonna get people. What about your family? What about your older people? What about? I mean, I heard all the speeches. I heard everything, and then now I don't hear nothing. You know, my one of my friends, he's on these dating apps, and he be taking screenshots of women. He'll show where they was saying they was proud to be jabbed up, and now they took it off. He be showing me all these women taking their status down, and I was looking at myself like, why would these women take their status down? I feel like they're feeling something in their body now, like they're feeling the effects
Yeah,
of it.
them fibers, they being rewired. My analysis, because I really hate the term opinion, especially when you do your due diligence and do research for real, for real. My analysis of it all, and knowing that they got the fibrous thing, you see the patent of the 666 cryptocurrency, they rewiring people's bodies.
Right.
That's what it is, to be able to take the 5G, to be able to be scanned, the chip and everything like that. Right now, I'm going to school, but I'm not going to school. I'm taking like them like Khan Academy free courses, and I'm taking
Yeah.
biology.
Okay.
Biology, right? I'm taking biology, chemistry, and physics. And we're learning about, well, right now I'm learning about the how everything is polarized, what attracts each other, what doesn't, even down to the cell. Now with the everybody, everything is made up of cells, your
Mm-hmm.
DNA, everything, right? Now you have something that's hijacking your cells and rewiring what it's supposed to do. Your cells are very intelligent. They give messaging, they receive messaging. They Some are created to do certain things, and then they come together and make those things happen. Your body is its own ecosystem, and it has its own system within that, and multiple systems within that system. So knowing what a cell is and how it has its own instructions and what they do to send messages to the rest of your body, so you could be able to grow hair on your balls, or your eye color is this, or whatever the case may be, they hijacking that very accent, putting in their own messagings, putting in their own coding, and now your body is doing something it's not supposed to be doing. It wasn't made to do.
Right.
So now when you have these people having myocarditis all the time, which is inflammation, which is the lead number one reason of all diseases, if you really look at it,
It is.
nobody's saying nothing or raising an eyebrow like, nah, that's wrong.
Well, what's crazy is that, like you said earlier, these major news networks are saying this. Like, this is not us. This is what the CDC is saying. This is what CNN is saying. This is what they're saying. And it's crazy because I did a video. They got taken down. I literally just put a compilation of stuff they were saying, and they took it down like misinformation. I'm like, how is it misinformation if it's the folks that y'all getting information from in the first place? But it just lets you know that they don't care no more. And I read something that was very slick. You know what they say? They say the independent fact checker said it. So they don't put it on them. They put it on the independent fact checkers who could be anybody. Probably some
No,
internet.
it's actually them. They own it.
Oh,
Zuckerberg ass owns fact checkers, and that's against the law. That's well against human rights. Article 19. Hold up, I want to share it with you and everybody. Hold on. Um, that's against our human rights. All of these social media people. Can you see it?
mm-hmm.
Okay, so Article 19 of the human rights, so people could see what
United Nations.
the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, United Nations, right? So I think everybody should read this. And shout out to Sabir Bey, because you hear about it, but I've been really reading this like religiously. But Article 19 says everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference, and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media. Any media. and regardless of frontiers,
Right.
any media. I'm also taking civics as well. You
Hold on,
know.
hold on. Can you put that back up?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let
I'm
me.
glad you showed me that. It's crazy. I bought this. I bought that book. It's like a little thin book of the Human Rights Declaration.
Yeah.
But I want to show you some because I'm definitely going to be using that 19. I might read that before every video. If you go up a little more, you go up to like I think it's 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah,
Hold on. Everybody has the right to nationality.
yeah. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his nationality, nor denied the right to change his nationality.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, this is why it's a problem being black, because this is a part of a human rights declaration is a nationality, and even like when it came to like Kyrie talking, what they was doing to him was illegal. It's a human rights violation because he has the right to choose. He can wake up tomorrow and say I'm Jewish.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you can wake up tomorrow and say I'm Nigerian, because you have the right to choose your nationality. They can't stop you from doing that. And so, but what they're telling us is they're telling us to be a color. You see what I'm saying? If you read this whole thing, all of these things, it doesn't deal with skin color. It deals
It
with being a
don't.
human. So now you wrestling with skin color. Well, not even skin color, just color. Not even skin color, just color versus humanity. And so now people saying they black or they white or they whatever is not really recognized as a human being, because human beings have certain things that, because you got to think about what your rights are what you're supposed to be. And so yeah, that's why I just want to just sell that. I'm glad you pulled this up.
Yeah, you're welcome. You want me to keep it up or?
No, you got to keep it up. I mean, I just wanted to just say that it's just funny that part of your human rights is even you being able to get on these platforms to speak your opinion. Like that's even a human right. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes. It is, and that's why it says no matter what the frontier is, or media, and social media is one of them. And
right,
one of the arguments that they say, well, this is what they call it, a private business, and we want to do this, that, and the third. But Kanye was right when he was talking about the porn situation. I could see ass and tits all through my shit. Nobody says anything. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But if I'm saying, hold up, we gotta rethink, reevaluate how we're gonna move forward as humanity in this ever changing world, especially with the direction it's going. We're wrong for that. Or you want to put your fact checkers on there, but the fact checkers is you guys, including the media, the news media,
right.
every second of the day, radio, even on TV. Like I really don't watch TV, but when you go to other people's houses, they got the TV on. So you have no choice but to listen to it. Or if you go into an Uber, or if you riding in somebody's car, they're playing their radio. I'm not truly a driver, which that's gonna change. That's my another thing that new year, you knew me. I'm one of them. I'm gonna say that I got my whole speech ready. But those are one of the things that I'm working on too, because I do have a fear of driving. But I gotta snap out of that shit. But anyway, but I'm always the passenger, so you can't really say anything like, come on, man. But even if I say change the channel, it's on all channels.
Right,
You can't even get through one song, one full song. It was worse than Funkmaster Flex. You know how Funkmaster Flex always interrupts a song,
right.
and you be like, God damn, Funkmaster, shut up. Like, let the song play. With this whole Peter pandemic, it was the same thing. Like, they wouldn't even let the song finish before it's another Peter Pandemic commercial somehow every second after every song. Like if they was the DJ, it was no more DJs. It was just the commercial and the song, commercial and the song. And they didn't even let the song play all the way. And it was just so fucking weird. And I'm like, it's a hypnosis. It
It
gotta
is.
be.
It is. And really, it should have been. To me, it's illegal because y'all put it on all the radio stations, all the TVs, on my phone, all billboards, on side of the buses, on side of the trains, in the trains. They literally, to me, that's harassment. I shouldn't have to see something everywhere I go, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm like, this is insane. Like, this just make people go crazy. Like, so, but you're right. It is hypnosis because it makes somebody see something over and over again to where now you even numb to it. So when they even say it to you, you're not even alarmed by what they're even saying. Just like
Yeah,
that
and
one,
it takes over your subconscious.
right?
You know, but one thing I do want to get back to, because you was talking about the dating app, right? Now me, I'm scared to even date. I need a pure blood. Like, I don't want to be giving a dude fellatio and I'm swallowing fibrous wires down my throat and it's not even semen anymore. So
Cha cha, it'd be an alien. Cha cha, it'd be an alien. Come on.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
What the fuck is that? Uh, so,
Oh,
I've been celibate, maybe hopefully that changes in 2023 because I am looking at, but for a long time, I wasn't looking. Like, I'm like, nah, I can't because I didn't know who to trust. And it's almost like, because I guess I'm in New York, everybody and their fucking mother got it, it seems like,
oh yeah.
And I think now, like how you said, people taking down their statuses. I think a lot of people are lying that they took it, that they took it for real, but then lying about it. So, are you single? And if you are, how are you navigating that whole scene, trying to avoid people who took the deadly venom?
So so my ex, we ended up breaking up, and she wanted to move back to California. So the plans were for us to move back to California. That was the initial thing. But then all this stuff started happening. I was like, listen, California's gonna be communist. We can't move back there. We got to stay here. But she didn't want to stay here. And so, but guess what? She liberal, Democrat. So I get it. But anyway, so she leaves. So now she leaves. I'm like, okay, how am I gonna date? This is like before the jab really, really took off. But I'm like, how am I gonna date? Because most of the women, and I'm just sad to say this, like most of the black women that's like educated and got good careers and all that stuff, they got it. Like all the quote unquote who would be oh, that's wifey, or that's the good girl, all of them got it. All of them. And I'm just like, you got it. Oh. So now I'm like, okay, it's difficult. I'm single. I've been celibate for about 2 years. So
Me
so
too.
I'm like, I'm
And I noticed that a lot of people who know better, because shout out to my brother Hocus for Fifth. He just went out on a date though, and he's been celibate too, and he's scared because we talk about this thing in the rabbit hole. We talk about all topics, and relationships has been one of them, especially being in this pandemic where now that's something else you got to think about before you think about gonorrhea, AIDS, HIV, even the simplest thing of not trying to be pregnant. Now there's another one to the list. Like, hold up, did you get shot? Like, you gotta. Then we start talking about what we do without offending anybody. Like, say shit like, yeah, the past 2 years been hard. I heard you work as a nurse or whatever, so how was that? How many boosters did you get or whatever? And I don't know, in order to try to get them to tell the truth, because they're going to be lying now. They're going to be lying. So have you had a hard time, or you just like, if it comes, it comes?
um again, like I said, yeah, I mean, it's rough because and I know that the average person got it. It's just it is what it is, and it's almost like you meet somebody like it's too good to be true, and guess what it is, because they got it. And so yeah, I mean, it's difficult, and even the girls that don't have it, they still want to be out in the world still. I'm like, listen, this stuff finna get shut down, and y'all don't see what's going on. They still want to party, still want to hang out, VIP, and guess what? No telling who they even messing with. No telling who they. So a girl could not be, we call it, smoked out. She got the poke, but she gets the
But you
message like
probably
I
swallowed somebody who got the poke,
okay, you know what I'm
and
saying?
it's all
She
in your throat.
right.
Like,
So
come
now
on.
what you see what I'm saying? So I know somebody that said a person was somebody lied to them that they were together with, said they didn't get it, and they really got it, and it messed up her cycle.
Reproductives. Oh, her
Yes,
cycle.
yeah. So again, this stuff is real. Like it's not just a joke. Like it's not. This is beyond the STD. This is like a sexually transmitted alien. This is a STA. So you know what I'm saying. So we got to be extra careful. Like we got to be like on heightened alert. Like we can't. And even if we meet somebody that's not jabbed up, who have they even messed with? Like we got to even
Yeah.
ask that question. Who you been with in the past 2 years? What you been doing? Like so, it's our criteria is a lot more refined now. We know what we want now, but just picking them out of the crowd is more difficult because it's
Yeah. We can't have one more another thing that is not even just about the poke, but for me, it's the mindset.
oh
The
yeah,
fact that you went and got and did it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you was somebody that, like, say your job didn't mandate you to do it. You did it because whatever. That changes the scope for me about it all. That tells me all I need to know about you
everything.
weak. For me, you weak. You know what I'm saying? You can't lead me nowhere. Only thing you're gonna lead me into is this new world fucking order. Like it's nothing for you to tell me. You don't have the heart, and not only that, you naive. Like where the fuck you been? Like I don't know. It's just weird, and it changes the game about a lot of things. And just me meeting people, even when they say they do it, even if they say they regret it or whatever the case may be, it's like. But see, my also thing too, my argument for it all is, listen, everybody will post that meme that circulates social media, the meme that has, people's bent over and there's like a chess game on top of them, and then you see like the elites,
Yeah,
and then the meme says all you have to do is just stand up, right? We heard that from my elders this whole fucking time. We need to stick together. We need to come together. You had every opportunity to prove that. I think this Peter pandemic was the perfect opportunity for people to prove how much we need to stick together. Prove how it's really power in the people. It's really power in the people, because none of them businesses would have survived if everybody would have stuck together. They would have had no choice but to listen to their employees, because it was nobody there to do their job.
right,
Just like the hospitals, even though but what about the sick people and stuff like that? Yeah, what about the sick people? And if the hospitals cared, they would have did everything they had to do to cater to their staff, to make sure that the patients were doing just fine. But they didn't stick together on that. Families didn't stick together. You had people who couldn't even go to funerals, couldn't go to Thanksgiving or whatever it is that you celebrate, because you had that mindset to stay away from me. And that's what they want, to isolate you so they could further infiltrate you. That's like an abusive husband, a
right,
motherfucker who beat on you and shit like that. He takes you away from your friends, he takes you away from your family, he takes you away from anything that could give you light or try to talk some sense into you, isolate you to beat the shit out of you and do whatever it is that they want you to do. And nobody felt like that. I don't know. It was just like the weirdest shit ever. Do you think people are gonna get up out of it?
no. I think that people like you and I will just get better and be more equipped to handle what's going on, and maybe help a few stragglers. But yeah, I think for the most part, because the propaganda just gets more intense. So like if you failed the first test, the second test is gonna be harder. You fail the second test, like the tests just get harder once you fail the first test. That's why once you pass the first test, the rest of the test you can see them a mile away. And so I think, like you said, my issue with the folks that got it was the reason. Um, Jordan Peterson,
Yeah.
he comes to mind. Jordan Peterson has been outspoken, great advice to people and all this stuff, but when it came to the snake bite, he got it. And his reason for getting it is what I had a problem with. He said I just wanted them to leave me alone. Now you done built your career. He became famous because he was going against the government with using pronouns. So you're used to not complying with the government. Like you're used to risking it all to fight the government. But when it came to this, you said, I'm going to get it. Now I thought to myself, why would somebody like Jordan Peterson get it? But then I thought about it. He's making money. He has a lifestyle, access to women, comfort. He can travel. I said, he didn't get that snake bite so they leave him alone. He got that snake bite to keep what he had going. And so to me, most of these people got that shot not for no health reason because they still are unhealthy. They got the shot because they still wanted access to the world. They was ain't gonna care in front of these people. You know, we can come back to normal if y'all do it. We get back to normal. Y'all can go on vacation. Y'all can get your job. Y'all can still have fun. If y'all go ahead and get it, they offering people cheeseburgers, french fries, lotto tickets, donuts, sex, lap dances, weed, sick, all this crazy stuff to take it. And I'm telling people, if they're offering you bad stuff to take it, then how could it be good? I said it's impossible. I said if this stuff was really real, if it was really real, it wouldn't be free. It would cost you $10,000 to get one dose. The second dose be $20,000. I said if it was really, people was really dying from this, they would literally charge you an arm and a leg to get one of them shots. The fact that they gave it to you free and offered you incentives should tell you everything. This never happened in history before. When have they ever given us something that was free for our benefit? It's never happened. It goes against everything to do it. So I'm with you. What was your mindset in taking it, and then how was your mindset different now? Because to me, the people that I saw got it, their mindset really ain't changed that much. I mean, most of them still under the same delusion.
You know what I noticed too? A lot of people who did take it, now they wanted to get into the herbal life. Now they want to sit here and talk about, oh, let's take my ginger shots and I'm gonna eat clean. Where was all this eating clean this past now? Oh, this is for extra precaution. Extra precaution. And you know, and I'm glad you brought up like the tests, right? Because for me, especially people older than me, you know, I'm 40, I turned 40 this year, right? People like 45, 50 years old, you know, in their 50s, right? Those are my OGs, you know. And it's like, but y'all was here for AIDS.
Right.
It was the same key players, the same players that gave y'all AIDS, yo. And then I know for a fact y'all know it was man-made because that's all I heard throughout my childhood. Y'all know it was man-made. Y'all knew it was some fuckery going on behind it. And it's the same people that's giving you, that's the faces for this new Peter pandemic right now, were the same faces behind the AIDS and the HIV. And, you know, to my understanding, a lot of that came through that hepatitis shot. A lot of it came through the hepatitis shot, and is written in certain books. It's written in Behold the Pale Horse when they was giving,
Yeah.
you know, the homosexuals
Yeah.
the hepatitis shots, and all of a sudden people had AIDS. That's no different than that monkeypox situation, how they was targeting the homosexual community, the LGBTQ community, and I think they're going to have something else going on with them.
Oh yeah.
Outside of that, because in New York, people was coming from Canada to New York to get that shot. You know what I'm saying? Especially, they was heavily marketing to them during Pride Week in June. I remember that. So it's like y'all motherfuckers went to a hip hop party and never left. Like y'all been partying since.
You know, I read an article, Cha Cha, for this past summer, and it was saying how their orgies were on the rise. It was talking about like New York, the orgies. It's almost like they want people to just indulge in all this stuff, so this stuff can just be mutated and whatever they got can cross this and just it's all kind of super stuff floating around, and it's just, you know, because I just noticed that lockdown to me was really about people getting off of lockdown and just going crazy. Like it was more so about people indulging in everything as much as they could, and then we see the end results. I know here in Atlanta, the STD rates reached a historic high. Like it's just, how does the STD rate reach a historic high when y'all just came from telling me to stay 6 feet apart? You couldn't see me. You couldn't do this. You got to wear a mask. If you come over here, wear the mask. I'm having a party. Show me your jab card. All that stuff they was doing. And in the midst of all that, now Atlanta has the highest STD rates in history. How did that happen? That don't even make no sense. So that lets me know y'all, they was doing it to us, but then behind closed doors, they were doing whatever they wanted to do with whoever they wanted to do it with.
Yep, that's a whole fact. That's why, I'm sorry, but I got really disappointed in my eldest. It exposed a lot. Like you said, 2020 is about vision, and the veil came off of every aspect of life. That shit came all the way off, and I was disappointed in a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who I thought were my heroes, they was mountainous before, now they turned into anthills. I'm looking at, the way I'm looking at the way I'm dealing with men, but it exposed a lot to me too. Because maybe I don't think I was loose like that, but maybe I wasn't thinking about more important things, especially when dealing with the opposite sex, and that whole dating thing. So it definitely made me more conscious about being more responsible, who I let handle me, and vice versa. And it was just a hell of a lot. Like, I stopped being a fan to a lot of shit. And then now, even though we kind of still in it, but we really not, I don't hear news the same. I don't, even when people are talking to me about certain things, I don't even hear them the same way. I'm not as passive. Like, I could even watching movies, I'm like, that's a symbol. That means like
Right,
everybody's speaking a whole nother
right,
language.
right,
Before it was Spanish, and I thought I knew what Spanish was, and then now it's like, nah. I see shit for what it really is now, and I know people can't stand me like that no more, because I'm like, even when people are being positive, right, and I guess giving compliments, or trying to shed light to somebody, I could hear their intentions through all the
right,
fluff.
right.
I'm like, nah, that ain't right. Like when I hear people talk about AI and stuff like that, but I'm like, but you for it. I know you for it. You know what I'm saying? Because even though you act like you talking out against it, but you're gonna be right along with it, especially when you say shit like, oh, well, maybe we need to see so we can have a better understanding. So then you might as well take the shot so you can have a better understanding.
Or
I don't
take
I
the
don't
chip.
believe you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
So what was the number one thing of 2022 that stood out to you politically, and you thought was the biggest fraud of the year?
Ooh, that's a good one. The biggest fraud of the year. Um, I think I don't know. That's tough. I think the biggest fraud is this Peter pandemic. I think that's the biggest fraud to me because, and I say that because everything branches off from that. So it's like if they say, like, think about it, even in the news, they're still talking about the children getting it, the schools, the flu, like even think. Okay, I'll tell you, the flu. That's the biggest thing this year because they told us the flu was gone, it disappeared. So how does the flu going from disappearing to now it's back? But it's back, and you're pushing the flu jab like you were pushing the snake bite. So I'm like, wait a minute. How did we think about it? We've never seen a flu campaign like this before ever in life. Like they've never gone this hard for the flu shot. So I believe they just did a switcheroo. Like in New York,
Hmm.
you have like the 3 car Molly. We all do that.
Hmm.
They did that with the shot. It was like this. And so now people going there to get that. But I believe that flu shot got something in it too.
Yeah,
So
it's new and improved. You
yeah,
you know, and then I saw that with Tamar Braxton. She posted like a whole, hold on, let me see if I can find it. She posted like a whole thing.
She took it.
The no, she was saying that, oh, I almost died. I went to the hospital and I couldn't breathe. The same symptoms like COVID. I thought she was about to say she had COVID. I'm like, bitch, just give it up. Like they really
Oh, I got you. Yeah, you know
trying
what?
hard.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I'm like, they really trying hard to get this thing going on. It was like last week or a few days ago or something like that. I'm on her shit. Uh and she had like this whole big ass post. The shade room came in, that is going on. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm hearing people saying this flu or this new flu is like everybody talking about how bad it is.
Yeah, so she did. I'm trying to find. I'm on her page right now. She did it, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, come on. Like I'm like, I was like, how much did they pay you? I said something to that effect. I'm like, did they pay you for that? Like, great marketing strategy. I said something to that effect because I'm like, come on. She was like, yeah, she posted herself in the hospital. Damn, hold on. I'm trying to find it for you because I want to show the public, because I mean, she had a whole 3 paragraphs and everything. Had her in the hospital.
You looking on YouTube?
No, I'm looking on
You might
Instagram.
you might be let
I'm
me
on
see.
her Instagram, and then I post. Wait, let me see what day is this. September. Oh, this is back. Hold on. So then it got to be one of
Hold
these
on,
new
I'm gonna
ones,
try to find it on YouTube.
unless she unless she deleted it or whatever. She had to.
Okay, I got it. You want me
Oh,
to send it
here
to
it is.
you?
I
Oh, you
got
got
it.
it? Okay.
Oh, go ahead. You got it.
Now go ahead, go ahead.
All right, hold on. Let me share my shit.
Come on, man. This girl doing. I'm looking at these pictures. She doing too much. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay, so
$1 billion in here.
You're in the picture, and I'm recording.
so she's showing happy, whatever. But I'm gonna read the post. It says, "This isn't an intention post. This is an attention post." Literally, I was with my best friends, Norman, whatever, and Mordell Malloy, shopping and doing Christmas fun shit. And the very next day, I had to be taken to the hospital by ambulance. Needed oxygen because I thought God was taking me home because I could not breathe and my chest was on fire. I was taken to Northside Hospital and I was met by the best nurses and doctors, including the real Dr. Jackie. Also, this was like a reality show to find out what's wrong. Y'all, I have the flu. And let me tell you, it's worse than COVID, in my opinion. I'm on 5 different medications. Please be careful. I wasn't around a lot of people and have no idea where it came from. Enjoy your holiday at home. You don't want this. Oh, yeah, I'm completely isolated. See, the government is just this big ass woman beater. I swear to God, with a fucking dirty ass, wearing a dirty ass wife beater. I'm completely isolated because it's hella contagious. I love y'all for real. So I guess this is her showing her fun time. We lit, and now I'm sick. I'm in the hospital.
Man,
Look, so what you think about that?
man, it's propaganda because there's nothing they can give you for the flu. If you go to the doctor, there's nothing they give you for the flu. It's nothing they give you. I remember I had the flu one time. I went to the hospital and he was like, I went to the emergency room. Now I thought it was over. I'm like, man, I feel sick. I had 103 temperature. I went to the emergency room. This is years ago, maybe like 20 years ago. I finally got to see that doctor. About 10 hours later, you know what he said? It's nothing I can do. It has to just leave your body. He said, I can give you some extra government strength Tylenol. He said, but that's about it. He said we can't treat the flu. This is what a doctor told me 20 years ago. So how now you can treat the flu? It's BS. Like it's not. It's propaganda.
It's more contagious than COVID.
Stop, man.
She had that in all caps.
I saw.
Isolated. You gotta isolate, and they was doing that with COVID. I told you this shit is a fucking woman beater. It's a people beater. And it's
So I
just
say it's the same thing. I say the way they pushing this flu shot to me it's the same thing. I believe it's the same thing because there's no way y'all told me Deborah Burks got on TV and said the flu is gone out of her own mouth. She said it, not me. Now years later, it comes back with a vengeance worse than the Peter pandemic. Come on, man, this is ridiculous. Stop.
And not only that, when everybody was sitting here looking, and shout out to Kanye, that's my brother. If I ever had a brother, that would be Kanye. I swear to God, he's my big brother. I swear to God, that's like my spirit animal. But the same day Kanye got not booted, but the Drink Champs episode got taken down off of the internet, Boston came out and they have an even more contagious
oh yeah, they made it. They made it though. They made it in the lab.
They made it in the lab.
Yeah.
But my point to that is you still got people thinking it came from bats. They're thinking it came from a wet market in Wuhan, China, when you have Boston out here talking about, oh, well, we came up with something even deadlier than Omicron. And then now all of a sudden everybody's talking about they got the flu and the flu is more contagious than COVID.
Right.
And that was just October. That was October 18th, actually. I remember that to a T. October 18th. They came out with that and it was all over. And my thing is, why didn't that go viral? And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of our conversation, where people have no choice. Like you have not no choice. You don't have no excuse to be like you didn't know this when they are blatantly telling you. People talking about, oh, well, is that another thing that I fucking hated during this pandemic? The credible sources. It's your credible sources that's telling you. It's your credible sources. So, but that's a conspiracy. Yeah, it is. When you look at Dr. Fauci, Bill Gates, when you look at George Soros, that's 3 people right there. That is a conspiracy. But you're more worried about these RICO charges and shit like that. And that's the ultimate RICO.
Right. These folks that conspired together against us.
Exactly.
That's the ultimate conspiracy. Not theory, just conspiracy. They conspired.
Yeah.
And I had somebody tell me, he was like, I got to see some credible. He said, what did he say? I see some credible sources. I said, okay, let me ask you a question. Who's credible? Tell me. I said, tell me who you think is credible. I said, CNN, MSNBC, who's credible? Like I say, y'all are funny because CNN will put an article up, right? The headline will say, complications during flu season, right? That's what the headline is saying. If you read the article, it'll go into detail how the shot is causing complications, right? Mm-hmm. But nobody will read the article. They'll just read the headline and keep moving. So CNN will tell you, MSNBC, listen, these people actually put this stuff in articles for you to read. Like it's in the open. They actually don't lie when they write it down. They might lie on TV, but when it comes to them writing an article, they tell you the truth. But folks don't read it though. Folks see the headline and keep moving.
And then, since I brought up Kanye, I'm kind of glad, he exposed, the small hat community, because, these motherfuckers be trying to strike me and shit. The Shirley Temple motherfuckers, them. I'm kind of glad he did that because it made people really dig into it, and I did. I got to, and you did too. I saw your post about it where you broke down who owns who, and I want to give you your flowers because you took it a step further than I did, because I felt like the only motherfuckers that weren't a part of that situation was Fox. But then you open up a can of worms that I overlooked. You stated that the dude that took over Disney because his previous small hat was out here trying to fuck everything and being inappropriate, right? The dude that took over Disney is what you said, 50% owner or
Oh
more
yeah,
than
over yeah.
50% owner than
He's because the guy that owns it owns like 30. The guy that the original owner of Fox only owns like 30 some percent. So the guy owns the rest. So they own the rest. But again, that guy even spoke out against them in 2000 and a couple of years ago, and he said they own everything. So they're gonna make him sell it anyway. You gotta, what I'm saying. You can't come out
yeah,
and talk.
and and I think they bullied him for that
Yeah,
percentage
they
because
did.
because he did speak out about them and they tried to cancel him. And I hate the whole cancel term. Like, how you canceling somebody? They still talking. Like, even when they say that about Kanye, I'm like, Kanye's still talking. You didn't cancel shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are we gonna cancel? You not canceling shit because they're gonna do. That's why I love Kanye because he's gonna do something else that's reckless that's gonna catch your attention. Now you got something to talk about for the next few months. So please, the culture needs Kanye. But anyway, so and
Hold on, they got
when
Andrew Tate.
people,
They got Andrew Tate too. Just now,
oh
him and
yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. I was gonna bring that up too. But I'm glad you we brought that up because Kanye brought that up because it got us to see who is behind these so-called credible sources.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a whole mindset. That's one of the things that got me kicked out of Clubhouse. I've been saying that for the past few episodes, but I'm currently
You
kicked out
got
of
clicked
Clubhouse.
out? How?
Yeah, because I think the last straw for them it was coming because with the whole small hat situation, I was in a lot of big rooms and they gave me the floor because of the information that I was producing as far as their community, the what their deal is with the world, what I see in New York as far as like Brooklyn is concerned, and what they do with a lot of residents because people be like, oh well, they have their own communities and stuff like that, but a lot of them are slumlords. They don't give our people the same advantages that they will give their own, and we all live in the same community. you know they do a lot of reckless things and racially because people will be like, oh, we used to fight all these things together. Then how do you explain the NAACP? And when has it ever been truly beneficial for black people?
Never.
Yeah, yes, y'all sat at the counters with us, but I feel like a lot of y'all were bots. I feel like y'all were planted there to make it seem like it, but y'all never really fought the same struggle like we did.
No, no,
That's
they
why
did it. No, they did it for them.
that's the point that I was making. Like, y'all sat at the lunch counter tables and stuff like that. But what did black people get out of doing that? All right, fine, we get to sit in a diner. But as far as the status in America, period, fuck the diner. Where did that lead us?
Right.
That's why I got disappointed with Russell Simmons when he got on there and tried to, I guess, de-escalate the situation. And one of the things that he said that pissed me off was, back in the day we didn't even have the money to have our own businesses. So, a lot of our small hat friends, they was like they came to us and see if we wanted to own black businesses. And I'm like, that's an oxymoron. What are you talking about?
What?
Because if they buying it,
What
then
part
it's
of
not a black
history?
owned business.
What part of history he talking about?
Huh?
What part of history was that?
Thank you. I guess hip hop history when they was getting
Oh
into the
yeah,
game.
but they owned everything. No, what that don't make no sense.
But that's why you can't say that I have something and I'm just the face of it or I'm managing it. I'm not the owner. It pays the
Right.
cost to be the boss, and whoever put up that bread to make that establishment happen, that's the true boss. That's not a black-owned business. That's not. But for him to go on live and said that was very disappointing too. Like, and so it was me and like three other men. It seems like I'm always going up against men, but it was me and three other small hat men. And it was, I was giving it to them intellectually. I didn't say anything personal. They started taking personal shots and everything like that. And I'm happy for the moderators in that room because they was like, nah, she didn't say not one thing that was personal. I was like, yeah, I'm sticking to it. I read down the list, the notes that I had about who owns. That's why I was like, you took it better because I had to write that down to make sure I was prepared. So when I made the list of who owns what their background was, and everything like that, then one of them had the nerve to be like, one of the dudes wasn't Jewish, and I'm like, hold up, his father's a Hungarian Jew. It says that in his bio. Oh, but that doesn't make you Jewish. And I'm like, how does that not make you Jewish when you read the Bible, it's through that bloodline. It says
Who
Abraham,
said
then
who was the
this.
person? They said it wasn't Jewish
Hold on, let me get it for you right now because I got the list.
because in their culture the bloodline goes through the mother.
Yeah, yeah, because they was like, yeah, because the father was. So that's what that is. Hold up. I hope I didn't delete it. But I have the whole.
They trying to get technical now.
Yeah, but at
Trying
the
to
end of the day, I think I probably deleted it. But I had the whole list. I had who owned Fox, who owned Disney, because it's only really six. So when people look at all these other different
yeah.
smaller news outlet, even though they may be big, but they still small compared to the parent company of it all. Yeah, I don't have it. Is
Because I was
this
about to
it?
say everybody on my list is Jewish. They not
Oh,
they
I got it right here. I
who
found it.
who is it?
Hold on. So Comcast. Oh, it was him. It was the Comcast situation. They was trying to say Ralph J. Roberts wasn't Jewish. They was trying to say he wasn't Jewish, but his father's Jewish. His father was a Hungarian Jew. Yeah. So and then I read that out because it was and then George Soros also Hungarian small hat. Charles Schwab's and stuff. So this is just a small list. The Rupert Murdoch, he's Scottish Australian, but that's what I'm saying. You did better than me because when I saw yes shit, I'm like yes. You was talking about um Bob Chapek, whatever his name is, Bob Chapek. Because Robert Allen Igar, he stepped down for sex allegations and money scandal. I got that here as a what you call it too. So and even though, but see, even that I can't take seriously because that further proves that it's not real. Because if you are following the Torah and following the Bible and all that other stuff, it's really your father lineage. When they talk about, even with Jesus, they talk about all the people above him that was the fathers, and this is why he came to be who he was. So it's just weird. It's just fucking weird.
Hold on a second. I want to see something. I'm just sorry because they said the dude, the CEO of Comcast.
Yeah, so and then it was that, and then the thing that put the nail in the coffin for me on Clubhouse was when Kanye showed the swastika mixed with the Star of David, and I put that as my PTR. I put that as my PTR. Shit. And that's what got him off of Twitter. That's what got me off of Clubhouse. But it's sacred geometry. Like, y'all stay jacking our shit, but it's really ours. Like, get out of here. That's sacred geometry. That's for us. And that's one of the classes that I'm taking to geometry. Is math, god damn it. And what I noticed about the sacred geometry aspect of it all, it was an understanding that black, quote unquote, black people had all over the world. That was one of the things that actually united us. Where's that sacred geometry? When you look at the understanding and the definitions, whether it's India, whether it's in Asia, whether it's over here on Turtle Island, whether it's in Africa, all of them have the same definition of
Yeah.
what those symbols stood for it to be perverted by a group of people, and they separated those things as something that's supposed to be good and as something that's supposed to be bad when both those things are sacred geometry. It's crazy.
Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that the CEO of Comcast is claimed by the Jewish people. They claim him. They say he grew up in an affluent Jewish family. So I mean, like they claim him as Jewish. So we not going. I don't know why they would tell you that. That his trying to get technical because they saying his family's Jewish. So that they claiming him. So
Yeah,
but
so but see but this dude was going around reporting a lot of people. It was him and like 100 other people getting people's accounts clipped, and it was like a big thing on Clubhouse about it. And I was one of them. Like I don't know if it was him per se, but I was one of those people, and. I, shit, they was paying me on my Cash App for the way I was giving it to him because I kid you not, I barely even cursed. I didn't even bring my New York swag. I relaxed that all the way to the table because I knew who I was up against. So I was like, all right, let me take deep breaths because I'm usually cursing people out like, what happened? But I was like, nah, this is a different kind of conversation. And I really want people to take me seriously right now, especially, this is not just a casual shoot the shit type of thing. And I gave it to them. I brought it, and they couldn't stand it. And they was trying to call me anti-Semitic, and I was like, I'm not being anti-Semitic at all. I'm just
what
talking
were they
about who
arguing with?
owns.
Like what were they arguing with though? Like what was their argument? That they don't
So
own
we were
everything?
talking about Kanye, and that was the overall topic. This is during the time Kanye was out there, and said, oh, the Jewish media, right? And so people had a heart attack with that. So that flooded Clubhouse. Every other room was about that. So I went into Ion's room just to talk about it, just to see what they were saying and stuff like that. And then it got into a situation where it was me and two small hats going back and forth with each other. But I was really trying to bring the conversation an intelligent way because I felt like a lot of people were just throwing insults and nobody was getting to the bottom of it. It was easy for them to deny things under the guise of anti-Semitism, and I'm like, no. And I remember verbatim, I was like, no. I was like, we need to really look at that. Let's take a glance at it, shall we? So then I brought out my list and I read it down to them because he was trying to say some smaller company wasn't Jewish, and I'm like, but see, you're not looking at the parent companies, and there's only six of them. And then I brought out the list and I started naming it down and everything. Look, they miss me on Clubhouse. Miss you on Clubhouse. I miss y'all too. Everybody been calling me like every day, telling me what's going on over there. I heard there's a lot of artificial intelligence takeover. They don't want the smoke from me because you already know how I give it up with the AI conversation. I heard our AI took over. But anyway, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna get a new phone soon, and maybe I'll be up on there talking my shit and laying down my law. I'll be there soon. but yeah, so it was a lot of that, and they just couldn't handle it. Like everything I was saying was on point. They couldn't deny it, even when talking about Brooklyn and the slumlord situation and how people throw people out. They take certain vouchers just to get rid of people. Who's gonna be living in these places anymore? My sister was a victim to that. I even brought up the Queen's Flip. If people don't know, for those that don't know, Queen's Flip is an influencer. He got a huge following. He does Flip the Script podcast with DJ G Money and stuff like that. He got a lot of dope people on his show. And his daughter got into a situation, and he talked about, and that was before the Kanye situation. And he talked about that experience, how they had their own police. They was treating his daughter like shit because she's a young woman of color, a black young lady. I really feel awkward about saying black, but y'all get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And even down to the hospital, you have people talk about the hospitals, how they have their own section in the hospital, but then treat you like shit. So those are realities that people are facing throughout this whole entire country, but then nobody is supposed to stand up and talk about it. And I feel like all this, I'm a victim, we went through this, we went through that. I feel like it gotta be capped. And I feel like that is used to suppress the truth about what's really going on. So now you got people walking around here blind, dumb, and scared. Like, who the fuck are you trying to bully? And I hate being bullied. It makes me want to come at you even more, actually. So, I'm the wrong person to do that shit to, It makes, cause like if I do go back on Clubhouse, I'm gonna be even worse than what I was. Just because you thought you had me. I don't know, it's just an ego thing. But and I'm exposed. You thought I was exposing shit before. I'm gonna do that shit 100 times more now.
Right.
Just because you thought you got that so-called power where I'm gonna silence her and I'm gonna keep her in the tuck, and I don't want her exposing certain things because we want to stay on top and we want to be able to go into your communities, and you think that we are a friendly face. You think that we on your side, but only thing that we're doing is learning you, so we know how to beat you, and that's how I take it. How you feel?
Well, I did a video a couple years ago about how the Jewish community in New York, they own like 90% of the Section 8 vouchers. And I'm like, that's a very small community, but they own all the Section 8 vouchers. Though I said, so why is nobody even? This is crazy. You can't say you're a marginalized group, but you have a lock on the Section 8 vouchers. I said it's hypocritical, and their Section 8 vouchers get to go to all the nice properties, in the nice areas. And so I remember doing that video, and this girl came on there and she said, "You got to be careful." I was like, "Be careful of what?" I mean, this is before I even knew what I was even, She was like, "You got to be careful." I was, "Be careful what?" She said, "They're not going to like this." I said, "Like what?" I said, I just researched and looked it up. I said, anybody's public information. She was like, "Yeah, but folks ain't going to like it." Fast forward years later, think about what she told me back then, and years later, you get kicked off a Clubhouse. Kanye got his stuff. Like, look what Kyrie. Look what happened after she told me that, and all I did was tell the truth. All you did was all we did was tell the truth. But the one thing they do as a group is they hide behind being a marginalized group. So that's how they're able to get away with this stuff, because they're quote unquote victims of an event. But my thing is this: I'm like, okay, you can only be a victim at a certain point. You can't say you're marginalized if you dominate certain industries. At that point, you're no longer marginalized. And they got reparations from Germany. Germany's paying the reparations. The U.S. gives them money. Like they got a 4-tiered reparation. They get money, they get housing, they get land, they get banking.
Yes.
They got a 4-tiered reparations thing. So
that's how they got Israel.
I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, what are we talking about?
That's why. Oh, go ahead, finish.
Go ahead.
No, that I was gonna say is that's why when people talk about the reparations for Black people, right? And they be like, "Oh, well, we're not tied to a land." Neither were they. I think that's a poor excuse. In fact, they got land because of the situation that they got from it. But I'm still doing my research on it all. But something happened. It's like 1 minute Hitler gets nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, and a lot of other motherfucking scientists in America are working with the Germans. You even have what we call the psychological science of cultural industry, even though the heads, the professors of that were Jewish, but they were German at the same time,
right,
who went to Frankfurt, then came to America and taught that thing. So when people be like, trauma for dollars, that is cultural industry. That's a science that they do. That's part of the propaganda that we see in media and things like that. When people sell you the trauma, and then you go out there and spending money and then fighting over toilet paper in your supermarket. So when we sit here and talk about the Nazis, they're German and stuff like that, no, those people at that time were the same people. They were German too.
right,
They were German too.
right.
So and with all of that stuff, that's why I'm like, something has to give. I think something is missing, or maybe I didn't find it yet, but I'm gonna find that shit. I'm gonna do that shit this year. What was the switch? How does Hitler go from being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize and they working together to execute people and have a pure race both in America and in Germany, to now all of a sudden the people on the opposing side get a whole landmass that's not even there. And I'm hearing that they was trying to take Ethiopia, but they wasn't having that. So that's how they got Israel. So when people talk about
Yeah,
black
but that's the
people,
the guy that Rothschild guy. He's the one that they basically asked him. England asked him to make Israel a state. You know what they call Israel a state? The state of Israel. You know, it's not really a country, it's a state. But they asked him to make Israel a state. So you got to think, in 1948, they turned, again, nationality, they turned their quote-unquote religion into a nationality, 1948. So what they did was, once they turned into a nationality, now, right, you got to have a landmass to go with the nationality. So that's what they did. We a nationality, we a people, now we need a land. So England asked him to do it, and he basically purchased, I ain't gonna say purchased, they took the land from the people that was already there and been fighting with them ever since. But, my point is with them is, again, they hide behind, this is why the civil rights movement was so detrimental for us, was because civil rights movement wasn't even for us. It was for them, the gays, it's for everybody but us. And the problem is that black folks keep participating in this foolishness, and even when it came to Kanye and Kyrie, black folks were still defending these people. I'm like, are y'all still defending them? I'm like, dude, like at some point, that's what I talked about earlier with the junior in New York, you have to put your foot down. At some point in time, we have to say enough's enough. Like, we got to. We have to say no more. Like, somebody got to say, you know what? Not here, not now.
but I do want you to talk about reparations. I do want to talk about a few more topics before we leave, because I know I had you for a minute, but I hope you enjoying
Oh
yourself.
yeah, that's good.
Thank you. But the white man, sing it for me. He
He
gonna
said
get a
they
little
got
bit
the
of money,
money, the
money. Sing it,
money.
sing it. I want to hear it.
I said the white man
What?
got the black man scared. He's so
So
scared.
scared. You need to record that. But seriously, like it's stuck in my head. But yeah, so I do hear you talk about reparations. So what do you feel, what is your stance about reparations? Do you think Black America will actually receive their reparations finally?
um, well, what I think it should be and what I think black folks will get are two different things. I think that black people should, me personally, should ask for things like uh, free medical. I'm just giving you examples: free medical, free education, tax exemption, some land. You see what I'm saying? Like stuff that they can, like stuff they don't have to actually change up a whole bunch of stuff to just so you can get. Because the other ways they're going to do it, they're going to say, okay, we'll give you this money, but it has to go to this house. Well, if you live in these states like New York and California, the house gonna cost $800,000, $1 million. They only give you $250,000. What you gonna do with the rest of the money? So, but I feel like what black folks should really ask for are things that are tangible assets. So whether that be land to be cultivated, whether it be some acres, you can live off of 5 acres. So we should bare minimum each person ask for at least 5 acres of some good land somewhere. Even if you don't live there until the land, you can still just have that it's your land. And like I said, free education, tax exemption, free medical, all that stuff, because I believe that other people, like I went to school with Native Americans, they went to school for free. I went to Arizona State. When I was at school, they went to school for free. They got a check every month. They was chilling, no problems, no worries. And so at the end of the day, we should get something similar to land, because to me, you have to have hard assets. The money is going to go unless they say we'll purchase the price of a home. Now, if they say you can get a home, then take the home. But if they can't give you the home, then get the land. Now, Obama could have did it when he, instead of bailing the banks out, what Obama should have did was say, everybody that was a victim of predatory lending, y'all get to keep your house. Because think about it. In any other situation, if it was a crime, if any crime occurred, they would just what's the word like give you a what's the word like retribution. So like if you had suffered under predatory lending, they would make it right with you. How do you make it right with the homeowner? You give them the home, or you lower the payments. So whatever you do, you make sure they get to keep the home. Obama bailed the bank out. The bank foreclosed all the homes, and then end up selling the homes again. So the banks actually made quadruple the money off of one home, and that really killed black wealth in America with the homeowners with the homes being lost. That's why I say you either got to give somebody an actual home, physical home, or some land, because anything else is not going to be worth anything. If you give them money, what does that mean? And then honestly, with the medical and education, the way things are going, that ain't gonna mean it either. So really, I would just say some land. Really, you know.
Yeah, I think land is important. Not even just the house. I want the land it sits on,
Yeah.
because that's the most tangible thing. And then you could also file for a load of your titles. That's why people always talk about financial freedom. That shit is a fraud too. That's one of the biggest frauds because, and I posted Rizza Islam when he said that. I was like, you can't be a millionaire but then scared to speak out, then that makes you a rich slave. And I feel that way with a lot of other people. Even if you don't have a platform to speak on and stuff like that, it doesn't necessarily mean watch what you say. People watch what they do because they worried about their assets, so-called their assets being frozen, different things like that. Oh, we can't say this, we can't do this and stuff like that, because I think the money puts a double lock on them. And how you're going to have freedom if you are limited to do only specific certain things in order to keep that lifestyle, or be able to still travel, whatever it is that you do with your money. That's not freedom to me. Freedom is being able to walk this earth planet and do what you say, think how you want to think, express yourself the way you need to express yourself,
Mm-hmm.
be as creative as you want to be without worrying, within reason. Because I'm not saying go kill somebody. I'm not saying, cause harm to people, especially physical harm, because in this new bitch ass world, I could, it's as, oh, you harmed me. The things that Kanye was saying, oh, cause people harm. It didn't cause you no motherfucking harm. Are you alive? Did you die though? But did you die? That's my thing. But did you die? Like, you could easily turn off social media. It didn't stop you from making your money. It didn't stop you from raising your kids. It didn't stop you from showing love to the world. But
Right.
they use that terminology harm in such a way that it paralyzes people to be able to be freely expressive. And I think that's another bully tactic. But anyway, so I think that we need land, not just a house, because they could take that shit from you. We need stuff that they won't be able to take away. I think that what you said about Obama was brilliant. Like, he should have bailed out them homeowners. They should have been able to live the rest of their lives within those homes, and maybe a few $100s off their land taxes, however much them shits cost.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been more ideal than bailing out the banks, because they still rich. And then now people have to downsize, leave their homes, have to figure out what the fuck they're going to do and things like that. And I think that is fucking terrible. But I hope black people do get their reparations. I hope we do. But I want everybody to take 2023, and this is my message to the world. Let me look into the camera. I want 2023, get more financially literate. Figure out what is the best spending habits, what is the best saving habits. Try to figure out any kind of tax break, things like that. Is not going to be in crypto and AI. We're going to get to that. Just something to put you in a better position, and have you truly be a landowner. So when you do get your reparations, is another drop in the bucket, and you can further expand your land ownership and things that are tangible. Everybody is investing in things that they can't see, feel, touch, or trade really only digitally, and they have control over that. They can manipulate the market just like how they manipulate your minds with the news media. We saw that with Dogecoin. They can manipulate the market. When you go to all these trade schools, they tell you that same thing, how the market can be manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want something to be in a bullish run, they'll do something to make it dip. That shit is volatile and fucking strange. And if they can able to manipulate the market, they can make you broke in seconds. So please, that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, so you want to say anything else before we move to the next topic?
Well, yeah. To piggyback what you just said, I mean, I would say that. So the reason why they want to even have everything digital, and think about how these things work, right? They let you do something, get comfortable with it, be successful with it, then they snatch it away. So even with cryptocurrency, all these folks are okay. We saw it even with Robinhood last year or 2 years ago with Robinhood, where some kind of stock went up and then Robinhood wouldn't allow you to sell it or trade it. It's just like all kind of insider stuff going on. Okay, decentralized or whatever. All this. Listen, all of it's nonsense because everything runs on the power grid. So if push comes to shove, they just do like this, click, and this everything is lost. And then when it cuts back on, miraculously, everybody's accounts at zero. Then what you gonna do? Who you gonna blame? All they gonna do is say it was a cyber attack. Who you like what? Like they just gonna blame Putin. So I mean, what you gonna do? Like, so at the end of the day, you can't really trust anything that's digital because digital means it has to run on their power system. They're still in control. That's why we would have to come up with our own bartering system, our own trading system where that's why I mentioned having tangible goods, tangible assets. That's why I say you get somebody some land, that's something that's tangible. That means a minimum 5 acres because 5 acres can sustain a family. Not no 1 acre. 5 acres can sustain a family. So 5 is the minimum. Ain't no 4 or 5. So tangible because tangible earth, cultivate the earth, be fruitful and multiply. That's what God intended. We're not going to succeed in this system. We got to go back to the old ways where we tilling the ground and living off the land. I just saw a video of a lady, some Asian country she was in, and the lady had built a little house for her. She was out there, went to the forest, got some wood, went and got a chicken, killed it, strung it up. And made her little meal right there with no kind of modern technology. Just had her vegetables and her chicken right there. Had her little hut house and so it's possible.
I mean, but that's what we should want. You know what I'm saying? Now they have, because you're talking about the food, and because okay, before I go there with the food, you talking about we have to find our own way of bartering. We do, because food is the ultimate currency. Even when we was talking about this pandemic situation, one of the number one answers to the reason why people did what they did was, oh, because I couldn't lose my job. I gotta eat. People make money in order for them to eat,
Right.
to clothe, right? That's one of the main reasons. Oh, I gotta feed my kids. I gotta feed my kids. The cash money that you're getting or whatever's dropping into your deposit is not feeding you per se. It's when you go to the supermarkets and things like that. Those are the stuff that's feeding you. And even with the food, you could create clothes and stuff like that. I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos where people have these animals and even growing hemp. And I know a lot of people will look at me side eye, but even cotton and turning those things into yarn and
Yeah.
actually making clothes and washcloths and all kinds of stuff. When motherfuckers is ready to run away from these major cities and things like that, you're gonna be hungry. You're not gonna worry about no crypto. You're not going to worry about no golden nugget to keep, because that was one of the solutions people will come up with. We need to buy gold. Yes, buy gold. But if you out here on the run, you can't really take all of that shit with you. You probably take some to barter. But your ultimate thing that you're going to be thinking about all day, every day is food. Now you're going to want to start running on people's farms and try to snatch some apples and some corn or
And
whatever.
getting popped.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the true currency. But we leave that to them. We sitting here, don't want to think that, oh, that's so back in the day, but you're about to eat 3D printed food right now. Having a real chicken leg is gonna be old, where motherfuckers is gonna be going to the supermarkets now buying fat cartridges because they want to make bacon in the morning, 3D printed bacon in the morning. You only the rich is going to be able to have access to true real food, while everybody else is you think people complain about genetically modified food now? Wait till them 3D printed food get in, and it's already in effect in McDonald's. They already just opened up a totally automated McDonald's where there's no workers in there. How fast you think that trend is going to catch on when it's going to be in a
Right.
city or a town near you? And it's not even just a 3D printed food. They promoting eating humans now. You're starting to see that a lot.
And the insects.
And the insects, these cooking shows, that's human meat. You got all these other corporations eat your favorite celebrity. What kind of shit is that? I know we all joke sometime and be like, if I was caught in the middle of nowhere, you going first or whatever. But now these niggas is for real, for real. They not playing. I'll probably eat a butt cheek. I don't know. It depends. But these niggas is not playing. They trying to make it normal. That when you go into a supermarket, I can see it now. You go to the supermarket, let me get that pinky toe. Fuck pig's feet. You're gonna be eating humans' feet. That shit's gonna
Right.
be in a pickle jar and everything. You're gonna think it's a delicacy. That's nasty.
They're gonna be talking about this person died of natural causes, you know.
and then and then and then and then a year from now, the organ harvesting place. That's why they got you watching Jeffrey Dahmer now. That's why all these fucking places showing you the human trafficking is gonna be at an all-time high. Not only are people dropping like flies because of the Peter pandemic, but now they're gonna disappear too because they're gonna be ended up in your fucking supermarket and you're gonna be eating human butt cheeks thinking it's ham for turkey. That's going to be the ham substitute for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
what what is the 3D meat? I see it, but what is it made out of? Like what is it?
Like fibers, and it's like they grow it on a petri dish and they put it in like this machine and that it grows. Hold on, because I
Man,
posted
that
it
is
on mine.
crazy.
I posted it on my um I posted it on mine. I'm gonna go down a little bit. Hold on, let me go to my page. Yeah, I posted it not too long ago, so it shouldn't be far down. But yeah, it's. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, and I'm like, damn, this is where we at with it now. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
Good morning to all my
Hold
people.
on. Let me put a pause. Let me share my screen so you can see it.
Good morning to all my people, man. I had to talk about this fucking website. So, these people here are selling celebrity meat. And it's exactly just like it fucking sounds. On the website, it says it all starts with your favorite celebrity and a quick biopsy to obtain tissue samples. It also says they're isolating muscle stem cells. We grow celebrity meat in our proprietary bioreactors. These crackers is eating celebrity meat. Bite Labs. You can look this up. Bite Labs or this is real life shit. These motherfuckers is eating people, eating celebrities, and trying to make that shit look green. Good morning to all my people, man. I had to.
You see that?
Yes.
And I found them on Facebook. Hold on, let me share it. I found them on Facebook. Hold up.
Good morning to all my people, man. I had to talk about this this fucking website. So
Hold on. Here we go. Can you see it? So,
Yeah, I see it. Bite Labs.
yeah, hold on. Yeah, so this is them. By Labs Meat. Somebody said this is disgusting.
So this is
Eat celebrity meat. Bite Labs grow meat from celebrity tissue samples and uses it to make artesian. What this say? Uh, can you see this?
I can see it.
Okay.
Okay, so they grow it from tissue samples. Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, cause I'm trying to um see if there's like they on Twitter too and everything. What's this? Something else. But yeah, there's a lot of other things. Hold on, because I think they had another thing with celebrity meat, human meat. They say, well, here's the thing. Oh shit, hold on. They said Human Meat Project is not promoting cannibalism; it's conceptual art.
So you eat the art.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I'm gonna find it. I want to put it. Um, but yeah, this is dumb. I think is uh they said they updated their. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, the web page stopped. They have a Twitter. I was on their Twitter, but they closed down their Twitter.
Oh, they must have got too much bad press.
Yeah, they closed down. I mean, not they didn't close down their Twitter. They closed down their website. But yeah, so that's crazy. Let's look at some of these pictures.
Go
It makes
back.
me it
Go
makes me
back.
look at things so different.
Go back one more. Go back. It says AI. What is this? This is they
Hmm. Political activists,
look
dissident,
Kanye.
dissident, unorthodox, insane, funny, and then they got ostrich.
Marina, hardcore, salty, cry, sincere, romantic, performance artist. James, Joker, playful, suave, again, sexy. What the heck?
And they got Kanye. Oh shit.
That's what I'm saying. They got Kanye. They got AI. That's crazy.
When did they? This is back in 2014. They posted this February 16, 2014. Brainstorming the salience point for each meat to exemplify.
So they probably got all these celebrities' DNA anyway, right?
But this is back. You see that this is back in 2014.
Yep. Look, Kanye, brooding, smoldery, critical, all out, best sausage, spicy, intense, spicy in back.
This is scary because I feel like these are like This is something else than just,
It's like code. It's like code words for something.
yeah. This is something else. And for it to be posted all the way back in 2014, this is something. I'm glad you told me to go back because I totally looked over that. Now I can't. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna post it. I just snatched that picture. Let's see what else we got up here. I think that's it.
And I remember they were talking about the cows were contributing to the climate change. They were giving off the cows and the pigs. So they're gonna say that animals are giving up too much carbon, and
Yeah,
then they're gonna say the people.
yeah. But they've been saying to people that's the whole reason for population control
Yeah.
because of the so-called carbon emissions, and so they have to reduce the population. Oh, you got your pen and paper out. Why I feel like a class clown? Where's my shit?
I'll be
Where's my
taking
pen? I
notes.
don't even got a pen up here. Yeah, but you saw that, right? I snatched that picture. I'm gonna put up a post and see what somebody think about it. And thank God this is recording because I said it's 2014. 20
2014.
fucking 14. You know that, so I'm glad it also had AI on there. So how do you feel about artificial intelligence? Before you go, I just want to say again with the woke community, see a lot of these motherfuckers, yo, I'm gonna start calling them out too. Like I'm about to. That's what I'm gonna do for 2023. If they keep on with their shit, I'm gonna start calling out by name these people, and we're gonna have a whole internet war because I think a lot of them are frauds. But we're starting to see a lot of them co-sign artificial intelligence, and then we just recently saw a video where an AI did a prediction of the evolution of humanity, and it went from monkeys to wires. Humanity is not going to exist, basically, and AI is telling you that. Then you see everybody using a lot of these artificial intelligent apps, entering their information and their likeness in their apps, and thinking that, oh, it's cool, it's fun, and look at my picture and all of that stuff. How do you feel about the artificial intelligence takeover, and how do you feel about humanity either living side by side with it or being overthrown by it? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, um, God's way is the natural way, with us having dominion of the earth over the earth and the animals, and us being in harmony with the planet. That's really God's way. The devil's way is technology. So I feel like AI is satanic because, in a sense, you're talking about something soulless that's able to make decisions. So now, imagine if something soulless is over you, governing you. What are you going to do? Because it's going to make you do things that they seem fit for humanity, and that might conflict with what you believe in. It might conflict with your family. It might conflict with your community. So, if think about it, when have we ever watched a movie and it worked out well with AI? Like it never, like even the movies show you is that it doesn't work. It never ends well. The Matrix, it don't end well. Like because you're creating something that you automatically make smarter than yourself. So you make it artificial intelligence, but you basically you're basing it off of a person. So you're making it like an advanced person. So you're gonna make it faster, stronger, smarter, all these attributes. Okay, so what happens when you put the program in the computer for the AI in the brain, and AI starts evolving, and it starts realizing, you know what? I don't have to listen to you. Matter of fact, y'all the ones messing the planet up in the first place. Like just imagine. So to me, technology in itself is bad. It's not good because we should really have the ability to communicate through telepathy. We should be able to speak to each other through non technological means. We should be able to feel each other and know like what's going on. That's what I believe God intended. The problem is the devil knows how we really. It's almost like you mimic what we should be doing naturally. So you mimic flying, you mimic telepathy with a phone, you mimic getting information at a fast pace, you mimic all these things, and then to the average human being who's simple and decadent, they think, oh, it's gonna make my life comfortable. I'm gonna be able to make money. I'll be able to relax. It'll be convenient. I can just walk in the house. Alexa, I'm like, do y'all realize what y'all doing? Y'all have something that's in control. It's almost like you calling out to Alexa. Alexa recording everything. You don't know. Alexa could be. I'm telling you, these folks gonna be so integrated. They gonna do something, and I don't know if you remember that new Chucky movie, but in the new Chucky movie, the Chucky doll was able to hack into the Uber because the Uber was self-driving, and then the doll hacked into the Uber car and ended up, doing something bad to this lady in the car. But what I'm saying is that AI, like all things, will be uncontrollable. You're not going to, because the nature of AI, I'm about to let you have it, but nature of AI is integrated into everything. So AI is a part of the quote unquote network. That means AI can access everything that's a part of the network. Anything that's access to Wi-Fi or fiber networks or anything, it can access. So imagine AI say one day, we tired of y'all. In the Terminator movie, that's what the machines did. The machines became conscious and they went online itself and waged war against humanity. Even with the Matrix, the machines was like, listen, we can try to live in peace. Y'all live over there, we live over here. That ain't gonna work because they're gonna keep it. Anyway, long story short, I don't know anybody with any sense thinks that AI is a good thing. Because even these cell phones we have, think about these cell phones and what's the next phase of those? What's the next? We already got the Apple Watch, which is a phone on your watch. So what's the next step? In your body, a chip, like you see what I'm saying? Like it don't stop. And then, before I let you have it, imagine you do something to your body, and now your body is even hackable by AI. Now the AI can make you do something you don't want to do, like make you sit down, make you stay in the house, or guess what? Just cut you off and you just lay up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Your mic.
That's why I'm about to. I should have brought it up when I heard you talking, but I kind of want to because the crypto currency. Hold on.
Which one?
The 666 patent.
Oh.
I'm trying to. Yeah, here we go.
And while you're saying that, Bill Gates is saying he's quote unquote against the crypto, right? But he's funding a company that's talking about connecting your biometrics with the crypto.
Yeah,
he's against it, but he with the company that wants to connect so that means your biometrics gotta match the money to even spend the money.
and that's what this is. This is what I'm showing you right now. Is this showing? Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I can see
showing.
it.
Okay, so this is what it is. And it's crazy that the numbers is 666. It's W020 no WO2020060606 cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Now, before I go into reading it, I want you to know because I'm glad you brought up Bill Gates because the applicants to this patent is Microsoft Technology Licensing LLC, US. One Microsoft Way, Washington. This is who applied. This is the applicant for this technology. And the publication date was March 26th of 2020. Okay. So the international filing was 2019. Okay, June 20th, 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. and the publication day, I guess when they made it available for the public, as far as like, because it has to be out there when you file it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that was March of didn't we go into the Peter pandemic in March?
Yes, we did.
Wasn't that like the same day? It seemed like,
We, I mean,
because
around
I
that.
think the Peter pandemic was like the 12th or the 16th or something like that of March.
Yeah.
So a week later, they published this, the cryptocurrency, right? System using body activity. Okay. And then I'm going to read this to you because I feel like it's important.
Okay.
Because even though a lot of people read this, and this is like all the agents, all the people who worked on here, on this, the inventors up here. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to read this real fast because I want to see if you catch it.
Hold on. Scroll up a little bit. I want to see something on the side. Scroll up. I'm sorry. Go down. I mean, up where I can see. Hold on. Keep going. Just want to see something. Priority data. That's 2018. The
Yep,
priority
right
data.
here. September 21st.
Okay. I just want to see that date.
Okay. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So I want to see if you catch it.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So human body activity associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. A server may be, well, I'm sorry, a server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicatively coupled to a server. A sensor communicatively coupled to or comprised in the device of the user may sense body activity of the user. Body activity data may be generated based on the sense body activity of the user. The cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is
Mm.
verified.
Mm. So basically, the money's not going. The money's not going to even work if your body is not reading out what it should be reading out. So that
Yes.
means so
Or
that
if you
means
don't do what you're told.
so that means you could have a fever, right? You could quote unquote supposedly be sick, and then you go out trying to spend your money, and the money says no, you're supposed to be at home quarantining, right? Or it may say you done moved around too much today.
Or
Or
if you're not moving your ass like how I'm telling you to move your ass, you don't get your cryptocurrency. Doesn't that sound like what they got in China with the credit system?
digital slavery.
Yeah, pretty much. And if
And
but see, but with these woke people, right? Oh, let's get into it to see how it is. Or, this thing is inevitable. So, we might as well learn it to be ahead of it. And then you got thousands of their followers. That's right, because it's decentralized and all this other shit. Not looking at how these NFTs don't work no more. Nobody talking about now they on this new app where you putting in your facial recognition and they coming up with all this artsy shit. Now artists are actually feeling some type of way about that because now they feel like how you said you have this thing that's smarter, faster, wiser, more creative, and they're not learning from one thing, they're learning from all of us. See, collecting data, and we do that a lot using the social media, but AI wouldn't work if they weren't able to collect data from people. And it's through these social media sites that AI is able to function and know, they know how we will respond to certain things. And honestly, that's why I feel like a lot of these social media networking sites, they are biased when it comes to the truth, because artificial intelligence is collecting the data. So if you have everything on one kind of perspective, that's
Right.
going to be the reality to artificial intelligence. It's not going to be able to have the wisdom like how humans do. It's not going to be able to have the wisdom to have discernment to see which one is false and which one is not, because
Right.
they only relying on one aspect of the narrative as opposed to the other. There's no weighing in between. So then when AI does come across somebody like you or I, then it's like, oh, you're the enemy because
Yeah.
this is what the type of time we're on. You see how and it's dangerous. So that's why I be looking at a lot of these people who advocate, especially if you have a huge following, because the real truth speakers, they are banned. They get
Right.
strikes from their account. They
Right.
get they get threatened because they going against community standards and things like that, because they are legit about the information that they put out there. I'm one of them. I know I'm on plenty of lists. I'm shadow banned. I know my numbers could do a lot better. I look at my insights. I have posts that have like 5 likes, but when you look into my insights, I don't reach over 5,000 people.
Right.
And so I'm looking at the 5 likes like, how, Sway?
Right.
How? Okay, so I know I'm one of them, due to my insight activity. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post that too, so people could see how they can manipulate. That's when people be like, "Oh, numbers don't like." Yes, they do. Especially when artificial intelligence is a part of it. Especially when you have these people manipulating the algorithm, you could do that. It's math. So,
Well,
but yeah, let me get your thoughts on that.
well, yeah. I mean, I agree because if you think about it, if you're moving into an AI digital type of world, then you want the world to be like how you want it to be to control people. So the computers would have to be online, no pun intended, but have to be online with what you're doing. So it makes sense that you create a world for AI that says that this is how the world should be. You know, all inclusive, equitable, all this stuff, and then anything that's counter to that is like we said earlier, is deemed a threat. Like I said, when it came to the Terminator movie, when I think it's called Skynet, when Skynet went online, it basically it launched missile attacks on every country. So basically, it sent missiles to every country to where it'd be a global war to get rid of humanity. And it's just crazy. That's how a computer would think, though, just to get rid of everybody at one fell swoop when we go online. So I just believe that when it comes to this, cryptocurrency, everybody keeps saying decentralized, but it's not going to really work if it has to have a vital sign or some kind of DNA connected to the money. Are y'all gonna start getting people's DNA? Like, how y'all gonna go around that? Because you saw what they put in there. Your biometrics have to satisfy what the currency is asking for. So now you got the money asking for you to perform a certain way. You got to do something to be able to access and spend me. So my question is, how y'all gonna get around that? How you gonna get around having some kind of life form attack? Because it can't be an animal, because it's gonna know it's an animal. So how you gonna put a human being attached to it to be able to spend the money? And then who's the person? Who's to say that if you get angry or you stressed out, the money says you're too stressed to spend me? Think about it. Like you're going through too much right now to spend the money. You need to go home and lay down and rest. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, like, and I was reading something to that effect about the smart cities, right? And how your apartment is gonna have all those things, like, even down to the 3D printed food. You know, hold on, I'm gonna put that article up so people won't be thinking I'm bullshitting when I'm talking about 3D printing food. But but back to my point, you see that now with these smart homes. So they trying to have it to a point where, when you wake up, they know your vitals. Depending on what you may need in the morning, they'll give you suggestions. And a lot of that shit will be GMO food and all
pills
of that stuff.
and your
Soy,
pills.
yeah, pills. What that's big pharma come into
Yep.
play. Oh, well, you need this pill for that because I see that you having anxiety because you might be going through something today. You probably got a new job or something. Here's this Exodol, whatever you want to fucking call it. It always got an all name at the end, or Fin or something like that. Take some Staggerfin and sit your ass down somewhere. Here's 2 doses, 4 doses. But if the shit is made off of principles that are bad, I guess negative, egotistical. I can't get the word for it right now. You know what I'm saying? These evil doers of the world. Come on, they probably drug you, overdose you. They doing that now in these hospitals because they being paid to keep you in there to make sure you have that status on your medical thing.
Hmm.
A lot of people was walking out of there and get that shit on their death certificates and was getting paid to do that shit. Even though they denying it, but come on, that's a whole fucking fact. So just imagine with this shit. And that's why I'm concerned about these Teslas. Everybody, oh, I got a Tesla, but who you flexing on? You're not flexing on me. You just make sure you behave, because that should drive your ass off a cliff somewhere. And then what?
Them newer, these newer ones, like anything made like, 2020, 2021, where they said they're gonna put that switch in them, the kill switch in them. Because I guarantee if it has a kill switch, it has an automatic drive switch to safety, quote unquote safety, to be captured. It's gonna have, you won't be able to get out. I even thought about it being in your home, your smart home, and your home says you had a Peter pandemic and you can't leave, and the door won't unlock. You can't get out.
Yeah, that's a whole fact. So I want to put the 3D printer food, so you can see, or the people could see what I'm talking about. Hold on, here we go. I think it has a video too. So yeah, 3D printing food, 6 food 3D printers available this year. June 8th, that's the day after my birthday too. 2021. Okay. And there's articles even further than that in as far as like years. You know, in our fall update, we removed several outdated products. Outdated, see what I'm saying? And added the Cakewalk 3D extruder as a special mention. What? So I'm trying to get to okay. So these are the brands: Micro Make, Chalk Edge, Z Morph, Biflow, Natural Machines. That's the brand, and then this is the name, the Foodini. The price of the cheap one is the Micro Make. That's at $1,000, but the most expensive it seems like is like $6,000, damn near almost 6,000. And creativity, edible 3D printer enables cooking aficionados to unleash even more creativity in the kitchen. Users can imagine and actually create intricate designs. Amazing 3D printed food artwork already exists. So I think some of like these fancy, like all you ladies out there that want to date these dudes for the bag and want to be going to all these fancy restaurants, a lot of them already using 3D printed food there.
Right.
So you're not even
Right.
eating real shit. And while you tipping your half off to the chef, thinking that the nigga is all that and then some, nah, it's not him. It's the Micro Make. it's the it's the MUs, the chocolate 3D print, the Foodini. That's what that is. Hold on. I think they have a. I'm trying to see. So here it is. Here's like you could buy one now, or at least get a quote. And is this is come? Some of them is come. They European. Look, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands. Focuses from the Netherlands. Micro Make. That looks. That's the cheap one.
That's the cheap one. Then
Yeah.
you get noodles and hot dogs.
The chocolate printer, Houdini. Hold on, I'm trying to see if they have like a video because I want to see one at work. I might have to go to YouTube. They probably got it. But see, look, there's a picture. Oh shit! Here we go.
US space agency NASA is funding a company to develop 3D printing of foods.
NASA.
Advocates of 3D printing technology say delivering long-life foods from alternative ingredients could help solve the problem of
Alternative
feeding
ingredients. What's
astronauts
the
and ease
alternative
food shortages on
ingredients?
Earth. Manned space missions require stocks of non-perishable foods. 3D printing could be a promising solution to the problem of feeding crews. Traditionally, food sources perish easily. Proteins, vitamins, fibers, and carbohydrates can be derived from alternative nutrient sources like insects, grasses, algae, and seeds. Stored as powders, they can last for years. When combined with sugars and oils, nutritionally dense foods can be created layer by layer. NASA will provide US firm and Jan contractor with $125,000 over 6 months to make the technology viable. 3D printing is already used to build complex machine parts and furniture.
Hmm. Yeah.
Listen, man, technology is evil, man. I'm telling you, because it don't stop. They just keep going and going and going, and so now you're gonna be eating fake food.
I want to know what the alternative ingredients are. Did you heard that right? See, it be the keywords that that pop in my mind that be going over everybody's fucking head. Like it be those specific keywords, just like when we was looking at the cryptocurrency thing. What do you mean that your body, the instruction, like what associated with the task provided? Task provided. So that means you're gonna provide. So you're gonna what? Send me a signal to tell me what I have to or need to be doing for today. Now, what if you turn me into like a spy or something, or what if I'm out here just killing people because I got that signal to go chop somebody motherfucking head off for the greater good? Because you want to fucking use that to get a gain of gun control. So now you tap my neurological thing and want me to shoot into a motherfucking mall. You get what I'm saying,
No,
right?
I get it. No, or you just don't do what they say. You can't spend the money. You just can't. Like at the end of the day, they're gonna be. I'm like, you think about it. Social credit score. Then your money is linked to the. Like it's gonna be total control. Like you're gonna be. Like just imagine all these folks that we know that so rah rah run their mouth, and now they gotta be the most model citizen just to be able to spend pennies, not be rich. I'm talking about just to be able to buy scraps. They gotta be a model citizen. Can't say nothing. Can't go against the grain. Gotta agree with everything on the media. It's gonna be crazy.
That's why, and I'm gonna say it again, that financial freedom, that's the biggest hoax. And I really think it was one of those bots that made that saying popular in training, get to the bag. Yeah, get to the bag. Oh, I gotta do what I gotta do for me and mine. Okay, do it. Do it. And then 10, because speaking to people about this Peter pandemic, now you're gonna have me saying that shit forever. Peter pandemic. I usually my word is pandemic, but now I'm gonna say the Peter pandemic. That's my new shit. You know, speaking to people about it, they always be like, how did we even get here? Y'all gonna say that again with this AI. You're gonna say that. Oh, remember you wanted to be cute. You wanted to have the green eyes and you wanted to do that because you thought it was lit for your social media. That's how we fucking got here. You wanted to flex on your fellow man that may not have as much money as you do so you could brag about having a Tesla. That's how we got here. Did you co-sign this nigga taking over Twitter? And when he took over Twitter, you forgot that he was a mastermind in artificial intelligence and this new technology. That shit just went over your head. That's why we got here. You know what I'm saying? You said that cryptocurrency was decentralized and so it's free for all. That's why we got here. You wanted to make your album cover an NFT. That's how we fucking got here. That's how we got here. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand when you participate, is your participation. that gives them the power. You feeding the beast. You're
Give the
feeding
consent.
the fucking beast with it all, and that's how we are getting here. And they wouldn't be as strong, or they'll have to go back to their offices and scramble up and come up with something new to take over us, because we too much of a willing participant. And I don't know. The only way I see us not doing this, if all of us as a collective separate from the society, built our own. And let me just say this one thing, and then I'll give it to you, and then we can wrap it up, right? You know, we always take pride in our inventors as Black people, right? The first Black person created the fiber optics for us to even have telephone, to later on have internet. It was the Black person to create the internet, and all this other stuff. We look at those people and we favor them, but what we clapping someone going into their institutions, inventing something great for them to further dominate us with. We didn't make these beautiful inventions for our community to have within us, and then we get to control how it's being used, who we are marketing to, who we are selling it to. No, we partner or relinquish our power to them. We do that shit all the time. We sit here, if one of us go to Harvard, we think we're smarter than someone who went to Howard, not realizing it's still their institution that they still got control over. You see
Right.
what happened to the medical industry when they said no more holistic healing, and they started using petroleum, and now we have big pharma of today, because nobody stood up and did something about real knowledge, wisdom, and understanding about how to take care of your body, just the sacred aspect of it all. And nobody stood up to shut that shit down. Everybody complied. When are we going to stop complying? That's what I want to know. When are you going to stop complying? Oh, well, this is real scientists. You're a scientist.
Right.
There's science in everything. If you're a good cook in your house, that's science.
It is.
That's chemistry, because you mixing one thing you mixing one compound with another compound, and you're creating something new. You're taking one ingredient with the next, and do she even he doesn't believe in blackness. Oops, somebody coming for you, but we're gonna get to that. That's what they said. Thank you, Jay Will.
Thank you,
Thank
Jay Will.
you. Yeah, so that's the thing that but yeah, let me get your thoughts on it, and then you could reply to Christina. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's a content creator named Megan McGlover. I was speaking with her one day, and she told me that, black people, I believe that every group of people have their own gifts. Like they have a collective gift. She said that black people's gifts are the gifts of influence. So I just been looking at the last 2 years, and I realized that everything they've pushed into the world, it has to start with black people, because we get everybody else to buy into it and do it. So, um, but that's a gift and a curse. So, on one hand, black people have created all these great things, but everything that they created that was great was ended up being used to eventually enslave humanity. Whether it was the traffic light, whether it was a vehicle, whether it was a phone, all that stuff eventually leads to the enslavement of humanity. So essentially, all of the God-given gifts end up being perverted and used for, evil and wicked things. The problem is that at this stage in the game, the separation portion is almost like revolution. I listened to a Gil Scott Heron interview, and he said the revolution won't be televised, but he said it won't be televised because the revolution takes place in the mind. That's why you won't see it, because it takes place in people's minds, and then people act on it. So what's going to have to happen to black people? Black folks are going to have a total mind revolution that won't happen on social media. It won't happen on regular media. It'll be a literal mind revolution, and then black folks will just start doing. I believe that a part of our problem is being black, because being black is controllable. You being Cha-Cha as yourself is not controllable because you have your own thoughts and your own minds and your own visions, dreams, and goals. Nobody can control Cha-Cha. But if Cha-Cha says I'm black, then there you turn around, it's a whole system in place for Cha-Cha. It's you got to vote Democratic. You got to go to this church. You got to get the snake bite. You got to do this. You got the black girl back. It's like it's a whole list of stuff you got to basically comply. And if you don't comply with it, guess what? You're going to get canceled. So essentially, the only way to really be free has to start with what you see yourself as. I don't care what a person wants to be. You can say you're an alien. It don't matter. But if you say you black, it's just controlled. And so we think about it. You just said all these black inventors gave all those inventions to white people. Think about it. So that means all those people had all those gifts and talents, and in the end, they gave it to somebody to control them with. Even think about George Washington Carver. All that stuff with the peanut, right? George Washington Carver did all this stuff with the peanut. Who got all the money? Is his family billionaires? Did he leave a legacy? If this man did all this with the peanut, where is that empire? We see Jiffy, we see Skip, we see all the peanut things, but where's the stuff for Carver? It's nowhere. So what I'm saying is and there's a reason behind that, is because to be black is to be controlled. So the problem is, even if we say we want to wake up and do this and do that, as long as you black, think about it. Why do you think Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black? What would make him even think to even say something like that? It's because he knows he can control you through that quote unquote color. It's not even your skin color, because we're really brown. Everybody's really a shade of brown. But I talk about freedom and empowerment, Cha-Cha. Like, we have to think about ourselves as just not confined to this system. So that means, what would a free person do? In 603, the movie 300, he's asking his wife, like, what would I'm a king, I gotta do this. What would a someone? And then she says to him, what would a free man do? Forget the titles, forget all the other stuff. What would a free man do? And to me, that's the question we gotta ask. What would a free person do? Because think about it, Cha-Cha. These folks are talking about controlling every single aspect of our lives, even down to how we even get this. Even the money got control over us. The money is like, you can't spend me today. Like, so to me, that revolution that we have to have, it has to be where we got to say, you know what, we done with this system. And part of that system, Cha-Cha, is race. Part of that system is black, white. Part of that system is minority, even though folks of color are the majority in the world. Like, all this stuff is just propaganda and programming. So, yeah, we got to separate. We do, because this clown show, my boy calls it the clown show, it ain't gonna never stop. If it ain't a shot, it's the money. If it ain't the money, it's your lights, it's your heat. If it ain't that, it's your children. If it ain't that, it'll never stop. And then one day we're gonna look up, Cha-Cha, and we're gonna be in a camp somewhere talking about, I remember when I used to be able to go outside and have fun. And no, not me, not you. So there has to be some kind of revolution that takes place where we say enough's enough. And I thought it would be 2020. I was sure it's going to be 2021. It wasn't 2022. So 2023, it's getting closer to 2030, Cha-Cha. So you're going to own nothing and be happy. So y'all got a clock in New York that's counting down, right?
Yeah, the ball in Times Square. I did that one year, a few years ago, not too long ago. Matter of fact, that New Year's before the lockdown, we went to Times Square, and me and my kids, and saw the ball drop for the first time, and we fucking muscled our shit up in there because it was jam packed. We had to pull a miracle to actually see it as close as we were. That was a miracle, but we had to elbow our way up in there. But yeah, it's gonna be counting down.
No, it's another clock though, Cha. It's another clock in New
To
York.
2030.
Yeah, it's a clock that's counting. Let me see, digital clock in New York.
Yeah, look for it because I want to show the people.
And then we ain't even talked about the effects of this snake bite, and folks, when they get on TV and tell them, and then they're gonna say you got to do this and do that, and
The end of the world clock. Somebody said the end of the world clock. Hi, Christine. Christine. End of the world. Did you find it?
yeah, it says it's a clock, giant clock in Union Square.
The doomsday clock is a symbol. That's what y'all talking about?
Yeah, it's the giant clock. Okay, so yeah, so if you just type in giant clock in Union Square, and it's like counting down. It says 6 years. It's 6 years counting down from now.
Union Square.
I think
I
Christine
know
said,
that's the mega that's the Best Buy building. Climate clock?
I saw one article that said it was a climate change clock by climate activists. Yeah, climate clock world. So I guess the climate clock is counting down to when the climate change is again. It's going to be around 2030 because it's like 6 years and some change from last year. So
Yeah, but that's the real climate change. It's not gonna be about weather. It's gonna be changing the climate of the world as far as how we live, the living conditions, who's gonna be the
oh
inhabited.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But I'm just saying the clock is counting down, and folks need to be aware that the clock is counting down to a specific day and time. So you need to be aware something's gonna happen.
Yeah. Charles Schwab was talking about, the grid coming off and that it would be more dangerous than COVID. You know what I'm saying? And that's another danger for AI as well because they're gonna flip the script, flip the switch,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna start seeing. And not only that, people are gonna be deprived off of shit. Nobody is only people that's gonna survive is gonna be farmers and people who are hoarding food and stuff. I be watching hoarders on TV. Some of them are just out nasty, but other motherfuckers, I'm like, where's she at though? Because I need some of that can of corn. 'Cause, I like the extreme couponers. I need to learn that fucking skill for 2023. That should be another new year, new me, you know, thing that I need to represent. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. Dan, we've been at it for almost 3 hours, and it was such a dope conversation. I
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed it too. So, I mean, we spoke about everything. Is there anything that you would like to get out there? And the other question is in 2023, what would you like to see? And what do you think is going to be one of the dangers or propagandas that's going to hit the people?
Um, I think we have a cyber attack coming, and then they have the catastrophic contagion. So there's going to the next Peter pandemic is going to be with the children, and that's going to get everybody all riled up. So I think cyber attack, and then Peter pandemic with the children for 2023. Something is going to happen. They said 2025, but it may happen sooner because I don't think we're going to have an election in 2024.
I'm voting for Kanye.
But I want folks, Cha to just to be prepared as much as they can. Just try to get as much food as possible. I mean, I don't know what these folks are actually going to do, but it's better to just prepare and not need it than to not be prepared and really need it. So I would just say, stack up on food and provisions as much as you can. Start praying.
Are you still doing that? Because I remember watching some of your videos and you had like the handy knife and you brought like I don't know, you was buying shit. I forgot. Well, it was a lot of stuff that you was buying.
Oh yeah,
Not all at once, but you was like, see, I'm ready. You gotta be prepared. You know how you get into your rants.
yeah.
And you was really into it. Like you gotta be prepared. And then you digged out the back seat of your car and he was like, see, I got one of these. I forgot what it was.
Oh,
But I got one of
it
these.
was a
What is that?
glass breaker. It was a
Yeah,
glass
I
breaker.
got a glass breaker. I need a glass breaker. That's one of my
I
lists
had
for
some rope, but you
2026.
got to think though. You can do this. See, right now it's time to prepare, right? So you can just do. You can make it simple. Like you can get something, an item a week, whether it be toilet paper 1 week, canned goods 1 week, rope, and knives, whatever. You can just keep accumulating stuff because really, what's going to end up happening is folks to come together and you might have stuff that folks don't have. It's going to be somebody in the house, right? They going to have a whole house full of canned goods with no can opener. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like, folks gonna have stuff. We got to come together and do this because I'm telling you now, most people, cha are going to be totally caught. When I say caught off guard, I mean they're not gonna have a clue of what's going on. They're gonna be calling you like, I went to the grocery store. They won't let me in. They said it's closed. Like what's? I'm just telling you what's gonna happen. They gonna look at their phone one day. It's not gonna come on. The power going. I'm just telling you because their goal is for chaos. Because once it's
You know what I
chaotic,
think too?
go ahead, go ahead.
People need. I'm sorry. You know what I think too? Y'all need to stop. I mean, even if y'all still want to do direct deposits, but y'all need to go to like your bank and empty and ATM and take out a few
Oh
cash
yeah,
just to stash.
yeah,
Put it under your mattress
yeah,
in your closet or whatever the case may be. You need something in your hand. But go ahead. I want you to finish and
yeah. No,
respond.
yeah. What she says right. Like because again, have something on hand because when they gonna hit the Cloud Squad already said this cyber attack is gonna make the Peter pandemic look like a small inconvenience. Now think about the whole world changed behind the Peter pandemic. The entire planet changed. He said that's nothing compared to what the cyber attack is gonna do. So what I'm telling y'all is, just imagine if these people mess with the power grid, forget about crypto, forget about NFTs, forget about decentralized, forget about all that. Because I'm telling you now, when they cut the system back on, everybody's gonna be at zero, and they're gonna start stipending out. So you get 1,200, you get 1,500, you get two. I'm telling you what they're gonna do, because they have to reset the society to get folks to comply. And like Cha said, the folks that'll be most prepared are the folks that are self-sustaining off the grid, like the Amish community, or like folks I know,
Yes.
like Molly, Queen of Farm in Cali. She moving to Texas, but she talking about food sovereignty because it's gonna come a time when you're gonna need to live off the land, and you're gonna have to defend that land. So these are the times we going through. So I would say let 2023 be the year of preparation because we already know, in 2024, the election year, it's gonna be all kind of crazy stuff going on. Cut your mic on. Hit your mic. Oh, yeah.
Dragon fruit. Can you see it?
I can
I
see
got
it.
my babies growing. It's lit. I got my peppers. I got my basil because I'm trying to make sure I learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I got my little aloe. Just in case you get cut and stuff, I can heal you.
Right.
Yeah. I got all of that. And I'm learning how to grow things on my own too. Like I'm taking a lot of stuff out of my house and just putting it in dirt and see how well it does. Just so I can get in the rhythm of that and and because it's going to be important. Like the reason why we're complaining about GMO foods and stuff like that, because we relinquished the control to this government. We're telling them how to feed us. We're giving them all that power, but they get mad when our food ain't righteous. We get mad when when there are options in there that are not clean. And then when we do want to buy organic food, it's all this expensive. And you know how cheap organic food really is? Like it really doesn't cost that much. Only thing that you're really paying for is packaging and the name brand,
Right.
where everything else takes some all this other things to create, and it's so dirt cheap. And they won't. But see, that's on purpose, because the GMOs change you too. They change you too. They also have mRNA technology in food as well, and it changes you. And I think that's why a lot of people, I think I just saw a report where the life expectancy is at a ultimate the is at a
The
lower
lowest.
rate
Yeah.
now. Yeah. What do you think? That's not just that's the jab too. I wish they were honest about that. That is the jab, but it's also the mRNA that's showing up in people's food that's reacting. When they talk about the mRNA that's in food, they give you a description of an insect, and they able to create the mRNA, and the specific insect will die if they come in contact or try to eat that food. Did it ever go by somebody that it could be attacking a specific blood type?
Hmm.
Did it ever occur to you? Fuck your illness, fuck all that shit. What's your blood type? Especially when life is in the blood. Life is in the
Right.
blood, and they
Right.
tainting that. So I mean, we have to be more smarter moving forward, and things like that. And I hope we wisen up, take your money out of the bank. It doesn't even have to be all of it, just some. Like if you get paid every week, a little $100, $200, tuck it, forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in the tuck. They got 10 for 10 canned goods. Get that. They got the dried stuff. Get that. Like get a whole bunch of non-perishables, and try to grow some shit in your motherfucking house, and you'll be all right. Yeah, so before we go, is there anything else?
No, I just want to thank you for inviting me on here. It was great. I had a great time. It was awesome. I hope to do it again.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
better do it again, or I'm coming to Atlanta for you.
All right. Thank you, though. I had a good
Thank you.
time.
Yes, Dawn. Thank you so much, and you better come again. Shit, we need
Uh,
to do this like once a month or something,
oh, yeah.
like a recap to the month, cause it be a lot going on. I'm gonna hit you up about that and see if you interested.
Oh, I had one more question for you.
Oh, okay.
They had, I saw where they putting these 5G towers in New York, like on the streets.
Hmm.
What do you think about that?
It's gonna show who got them fibers in that bloodstream. That's what it's gonna show. Now, but all jokes aside, they got that on top of schools too.
Mm,
They got that on top of schools. Like you see the towers in the front of the school. When you look at the lighting poles in the street, it got them cameras now. They not the old cameras. They some new shit out there. So yeah, they got that too. So I don't know. A lot of people are dying left and right. I think it's gonna be cancerous, and I think it's gonna. That's for them too to expose who the fuck got the venom snake. They're gonna
right,
start glowing in the dark soon. So
right.
and
I,
people are complaining about headaches a lot too. So that could be another thing.
I mean, I imagine because the 5Gs are so close. Like it's, the cell tower used to be way out somewhere. Now you talking about they on top of schools? That's crazy.
Yeah, they're on top of schools, because it's gonna be everything is so compartmentalized. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think like one tower is gonna be able to do it like how like the Empire State Building, that's like a radioactive tower, where a lot of the radio stations from New York, where this Hot 97 is being activated there, and you get a lot of signaling. That's another thing too, frequency. I don't think a lot of people is really looking into frequency. People think about these towers and motherfuckers just gonna start glowing in the dark, but people don't understand. I think that too. But I think what people are missing too, how people are responsive to frequency. You could use frequency to control somebody. You could use frequency to control the mood, make somebody fall asleep. Motherfuckers that probably fell asleep for like 3 days in a row be like, oh, why the fuck am I so tired? Maybe I gotta change my diet. Maybe I gotta detox, or maybe it's the pulse in the air that you can't see that knocked you out because you probably was saying too much on social media. Just saying. And I want people to look into that too. So I'm not capping. Frequency is important. That's why they fuck with the music. That's why they fuck with the music. I've been saying it. Kanye West been trying to fucking tell you. Why you think they always trying to push the murder, death, kill culture on you and then call it culture? Remember a time when back in the day they was always talking about love and all of that shit, and they thought that they would get rid of that with AIDS because everybody just wanted to love each other and have like 9, 10 kids. And then it was like, you know what, fuck that shit, give them AIDS. So now they scared to fuck each other. But then after a while that didn't even fucking work. And now look, we're going to make these people not trust each other, look at each other all fucking weird. We're going to have these rituals where black teenagers or black people go to other countries and get murdered. And now you're looking at your motherfucking friends all crazy. You're looking at your man crazy. You're looking at your lady crazy. And then we're going to create a disease because if I stand by you, I'm going to be sick. And now you isolated, and now I can fuck with you how I want to. Because you can't trust them. You can't touch your friends because they're going to kill you in Mexico. You can't trust your man because he's going to fuck everything and give you gonorrhea. You can't trust your what you call it, your friends and your family because they're going to give you the Rona. Guess who you could trust? Me. Come here. Let me stick my fucking a chip in your brain so you could be smarter, wiser, faster. Come get you some.
Right. And you know what I thought about? That's gonna be appealing to people. Elon Musk the first group he gonna get is the handicapped people. You can get your arm back, you can get your leg back. They gonna jump on that. He gonna get them quick.
He already advertised it. They're gonna start with the paraplegics. You could walk. I'm like Jesus. Come sip on this wine, and poof, you could walk. And they were like, oh shit, he could walk for 30, 40 years. He could walk now. Oh well shit, I got gout in the motherfucking, I got fucking glaucoma, I got the gout. Like, help me, Elon. And you African American. And you one of us.
Right. It's gonna be bad, boy. It's gonna be bad. Them folks gonna get that stuff in their body, and boy, it is not gonna go well.
Oh man, it's gonna be it's already nasty work. It's gonna be super nasty work. My God. But yeah, this was amazing. Like, yeah, we gotta do this again. Like, maybe once a month we gotta do like a monthly review because these motherfuckers be hitting us with everything every goddamn day. We need to process this. Like, we need to process this and plan. Like, come up with some solutions our people could follow.
Right.
Because a lot of people do be asking that. Well, what we gonna do now? What is the solution? All right, now don't make me come in my think tank and try to give y'all solutions and y'all don't listen. I'm just saying. But is there any final words from you?
No, I mean it was great. And whoever's listening, we got to think about really separating from the system. I don't know what it looks like immediately, but we eventually have to do it because these folks ain't gonna stop this madness. They're gonna keep going.
Yes, that's a fact. Well, I want to thank you so much for pulling up to Live at Radio. This was definitely a vibe, a great way to end. This is my last episode for 2022.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm glad I got to share it with you. And trust me, you guys, there's going to be more to come. And yeah, I truly appreciate you. And I thank you. Any shout outs to anybody? Like the white dude? Shout out the white dude. Is he in here?
Who?
The white dude that you be doing lives with? What's his name?
Who?
With the beard and all of that. Am I tripping?
Oh, he
He
ain't
not
white.
white?
No, he ain't white.
He just light skinned?
No, he Mexican.
He Mexican? He look like a hella gringo, like somebody white up in there. That don't look Mexican.
You talking about Che?
I think that's he be having the fitted. I don't know. He
Oh
be
yeah,
looking like he's in the
that's Che.
studio.
That's Che.
Somebody
Shout out
gringo
to
in his
Che,
family.
the No Spoon podcast. Shout out to Che, or Che Uncensored, Red Pill Che. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody gringo in his family. That nigga ain't Mexican, but that's another topic. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, I appreciate you. I'm gonna let you go, and
All
I'm gonna
right.
definitely hit you up after the new year.
Thank you, Cha Cha.
No problem, Blanchard. Later.
All right. Good night.
Yeah, you guys, another one for the books. It was amazing. This is our last episode of 2022. And I just want to say not only thank you to Blanchard, but thank you, all of you, every one of you that rolled with me this year. We had hell of a lot of interviews, dope, amazing interviews this year. Live at Radio went viral quite a few times this year, and it was amazing. And I couldn't have done it without you. I want to shout out to all the not only guests, but management, their publicists, all the people that I got to network with and trusted my platform enough to have their clients on my show. I want to say that you guys are the MVP. Shout out to everybody who came through and built with me and understood the direction that I'm going based off of, just how I give it up, and I'm making a promise that I'm going to continue to provide great show, great content. Because not only do I want you to be entertained, but I want you to think. I want us as a people to get out of it. I can't hoard the information. I have to give it to my people. I feel like that's my responsibility because I can't sit here and say that I give up on humanity or why humanity is the way it is. I want to be able to do everything I possibly can do to salvage humanity. And then if shit continue to still go left, I know that I did my part. I know that I did my part. I know I did. I looked out for my people. I preached to my people. I provided them with information. I gave my people solutions, and I wasn't selfish about it. That's how I want to go out in this world, you know, on my motherfucking feet, not on my knees. On my motherfucking feet, standing firmly on my square with a clean conscience that I did the right thing at all times. I know sometimes my delivery may be a little brash, but nigga, we ain't got time to play. I ain't got time to be sweet. I ain't got time to stroke your ego. Cause is your ego is the reason why we're here in the motherfucking first place. So with that being said, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday. And I can't wait for the new year. I got a lot of things already scheduled and planned. And I really want to really take it there. I might get in a lot of trouble, but I don't give a fuck. And with that being said, peace and blessings. Go hug your family. Fuck the flu. And if you get the flu, eat some chicken noodle soup with the soda on the side. Okay? Because we're going to rain on these motherfuckers in order to clear their asses out. Because I'm tired of this shit. Okay? And I know you are too. But we can't sit here and just complain about it. We got to be active and do something about it. Do something. And sometimes it don't have to be the most biggest things. The most smallest changes can make a huge effect. Get your bug out bags. Get your non-perishables. Start teaching your kids this. Your kids need to know this because they are constantly being brainwashed in their school system. Have family meetings, have family talks, get their perspective and guide them on the right path. Get more involved with what they are consuming. Get more involved with what you're consuming. Okay? Maybe it's a good thing that I got kicked off a Clubhouse because shit, I'm accomplishing a lot more. And I got less ignorant motherfuckers in my motherfucking ear. Even though I like Clubhouse because you're able to multitask, but you're still consuming energy that you shouldn't have to. You're still taking that in. Even if you're protesting against it, it's still coming in you. And maybe that was the universe giving me a break from that so I could truly give my undivided attention to things that I care about the most. So I could definitely accomplish them in 2023. New year, new me. Yes, I got my whole list and I'm lit. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Can't wait to see you next year. Peace, love. And I'm up off of this. Hold on, shall I even get my shit together? I'm all talking my shit talk. But now, yeah, love, peace, and more hair grease. Now I'm up off this. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and share. But most importantly, subscribe and hit that notification bell. ChaChaLive.media. Let's get it.